Zeeverfett live.
Welcome to your regularly scheduled programming.
Pegging is new for me,
Zeeverfett
friend.
live in HD.
I think we're going to start doing it on Tuesday nights. Am I correct?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
When are we moving back to Thursday night?
I don't know. Maybe soon though. My wife's like, "Can you go back to Thursdays?" I thought, really? I just went through all this to go to Wednesday.
What's so funny is she's like, "Yeah, can you go back to Thursdays?" She's like, "Why are you still doing the show?"
I'll give you something to go back to Thursday on.
Man.
I play basketball on Thursdays, so I can't do that.
So yeah, and my kids have soccer like all night long.
On the PS5?
Oh shit! Breaking news: apparently, Travis Knight is in talks to direct Masters of the Universe movie.
Ooh, man, you know what? What the fuck? What's up, everybody?
Woo!
Welcome to another 4Nerds show. We always do it on Tuesday nights. That's a thing.
We don't always do on Tuesday nights. There we go. That way you have the calm.
But he's looking the wrong way.
He's looking right at the screen. What are you talking about?
Looking that way.
No,
It's
not.
like he's like, hey, what's up, guys?
In what world are you living in right now?
I know.
Look, he's looking
There's
that
no
way.
world.
I'm looking at different parts
Now
of the
you're looking this
screen.
way. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
All right,
It's a big screen.
I like how Ryan's ever-changing background of just like random plants.
And Star Wars shit.
I'm yeah. There's some Star. Yeah, that's my latest, the latest helmet, latest edition.
What's the image behind you? What is that? Is that Howard the Duck?
Daffy Duck, Green Lantern. Actually, Green Lantern Daffy Duck goes with
Green Lantern.
How about that?
How
so
about
Green
that?
Lantern, and there's Oa.
That's badass. I would.
No, from far away, it kind of looks like the Death Star.
It does.
That's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought it was.
Is it Green Lantern
Mogo.
looking at the Death Star? Is that what it is?
No, it's not. Is it?
I think
No,
it took his
it's
wallet.
Mogo.
I think it took his wallet.
I think it took his wallet. I think it took the guy's wallet.
I think that part's funny because like it's just an annoying guy. He just doing
It is. What other movie has that guy been in?
I don't know.
I've seen him from somewhere. I
Wait.
never look it up.
Couldn't fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Some random Jew.
Wow.
What?
Well, he is Jewish, so he can say
Yeah,
that, I
I'm-
guess.
Without knowing
I
the
can
context.
say
I'm not
that.
gonna go there.
And
I'm
you
not gonna
can't
go
say
there.
that. I can say that though.
You can't say that.
Real quick, let's see who's in the chat already so far tonight. We got Anthony Beltre. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Yes,
We got Alejandro
Hi.
Ricardes. What's up?
Yo.
And we got Droga saying, "What up, 4Nerds?" Got
What's
What
up,
up,
Sean.
Droga?
Koala fucker.
Yo, what's up, fucker?
Oh my god.
No, he said
What's up,
koala fucker. That makes sense because it's in
Oh.
Australia.
Ah.
It's native to his land.
Native to his land. Got Nick, a Nerd Costa Nostra. What's up, man? Good to see
What
you.
is
Cracking,
up,
buddy.
bro?
Got Chris here. Saying hello, Dawson, Andre, Ryan, and Phil. Hello,
Hello.
my friends. What is up? Jason saying sup. Got Venom Hernandez. 4Nerds on a Tuesday. Holy shit.
It is
Yeah.
on a Tuesday, and we
Yeah.
made this arrangement because I believe Dawson has plans on Valentine's Day. We wanted to make sure that he was there and ready to go for
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Friends with his mother.
Three of
Phil
the four
has a
men-
date
No, I don't.
from
I mean, I
from
wish I had a date with Adam
plentyoffish.com.
Webb. Wow. How would you know about Plenty of Fish? You're the one who's married.
I don't. My
Whoa!
brother-in-law. Yeah, I'm on there every night. Oh, swipe left, swipe left. I'm
Got it right, bro.
don't tell my wife.
Wow.
I deleted my Tinder account like a week and a half ago. I'll give you that.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Doesn't mean I'm talking to anybody. I just got sick of that shit.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, dudes. Fair
We
enough.
also got Hunter Iggy. But yeah, we just decided that Tuesday would be better this week for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday.
Because these three probably all have plans and I don't.
I
Well, I
don't
wo-
actually. My wife's out of town all week, so I was like, I'm open for any
Wow.
day. I know,
Yeah.
but then on
It was like,
Friday,
fuck you.
the weekend,
He's
I,
like, I'm
I have to
taking
go
a week
down where
off.
she's at. So
This is the
I
first
know.
week in a while where both Andre and I are able to be on the show at the same time.
I know
It is,
this
it
is
is,
great.
it
This
is.
is great.
Like
Yeah.
Andre, I feel like you're, kind of avoiding me a little bit. I'm kinda
Oh,
curious to
yeah,
what
that's
you
that's
guys
what
are
it is.
avoiding
This,
each other.
this whole time I
was
haven't
just gonna
been
say that. I
here.
think they're avoiding
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, yeah. This whole time I haven't
don't
been here is
like
because I didn't
him.
want to talk with Dawson. Yeah.
fair enough. I get it. But no, I work all day tomorrow, like both of my jobs, so it's gonna be fun day.
Yeah.
Fun day.
Meanwhile, me and Ryan just get to absolutely fuck off all week, every week.
Every week. Every week we have fun. We talk
Yep.
about shit that we like and don't like, and
Including Andre and I.
we
Yeah.
do talk about
A
you.
lot of times we
do.
actually talk about it behind the scenes, you
and
know,
because you don't watch the show, we know we can get away
backstage.
with it.
We're in the green room talking while you guys are in here talking about Jurassic Park.
But you know what? At least we're making better business decisions than Warner Brothers Discovery at the moment.
Oh, how about that? I mean, their stock is plummeting right now, and
glad I
Ryan
pulled out.
Zeeverfett has the majority of the shares.
I swear, dude, last year when the fucking Flash came out, I was like, no, like, all the money. I was like, I've lost all the money. But the Barbie came out, and I was like, oh, the money has come back. And I took it out. I was like,
No, I think their stock is at like $10, something like that.
Jeez.
It's bad. It's like,
yeah,
it's
I
not
bought
good.
last year in January. I think it was like $8, and
Okay.
then it climbed up to like $15 in the summer, and then that's when I pulled out.
Just say whatever's on your mind right now.
He always does, just like I do.
Well, I don't want to go into the whole innuendo. I know Dawson.
Oh,
isn't
you
there,
know how
but
that goes.
what that means, you know.
Yeah.
He's like,
Uh-huh.
hold on, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
And Hunter,
Every time I see
uh,
Dawson, it reminds me of Justin
Dawson, do you need a
Timberlake
refresher on
from,
the Birds and the
Bad
Bees?
Teacher.
Excuse me.
I said, do you need a refresher on the Birds and the Bees? I didn't
No,
know.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Just
so
double checking.
the
He's
question
like, why
here
do
from-
they get to do it?
He says, Nickatina, what's your thoughts on this new time? I love it. Unfortunately, usually I'm at work, so it doesn't usually work out. But today I'm off this week, so I was like, hey, let's do it. I'm also off next week, so if you guys want to do this again, you know,
So-
just let me know.
I'm going to be off next month at the third week of
Oh
March
yeah.
because I'm going to PAX East.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
So it was there. Okay, so you told us you were going. Is there some reason or something that happened that you know?
So
kind
it's the Penny Arcade Expo, basically. Think like Comic-Con, but for video games.
of, okay.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah, it's gonna be
awesome,
dope.
actually. I like that.
It's really fucking cool. I'm going to Boston. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Boston. You have to.
Boston.
When I was there, I was I don't know. I couldn't help it, but I started talking with that
Mhm.
that accent.
You just wanted
and
to fit in. You
I
wanted
wanted
to
to fit in, and I was ordering like food and shit at the restaurants. You
You
know,
want a
like,
wada.
Bro, I'm
I
going to hit up
wanna-
every Dunkin' Donuts in hopes I run into Ben Affleck. I'm dead serious.
One more question here from
I
Hunter.
saw
He says,
Wahlberg's.
Nickatina, what's your thoughts on it? Super Best Friend Squad. So, what do you guys think? Should that be in the name of our squad?
Super best friend squad.
Either way, I like it. Good job, Hunter Iggy. I like it. So
Yeah,
about
Phil,
super
Phil, you'll be
duper
about
fucking
13
group. How
hours
about
away
that?
from me when you're in Boston.
Oh, yeah?
You'll be about 13 hours away from me. Yeah.
You should come see me and say
you
hi.
can go see Saggy Melons.
But
Actually, I did
speaking
hit
of
her up.
conventions, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of conventions, though, I'm gonna try to get into one in Salt Lake City, Utah, because I have some friends out there.
Ooh,
So
okay.
it's kind
I
of.
bet you do. That's where a lot of the Amish are.
It's not Amish.
Oh
idiot.
my God.
But
It's
I know
true.
Andre and Phil. It's kind of close to your neck of the woods than most of my
Where?
conventions are.
Where?
Utah?
Utah.
Utah? Are you effing kidding me? That's like
It's closer. That's what I said.
it's closer than usual, but it's still. I have to drive through an entire state to get there. I'm like,
I know.
oh God,
I
it's in
know.
I was
Dawson.
thinking about going to Alaska. Is that pretty close over there, Andre?
That's like saying like I want to be in Hawaii. That's closer, right? Like
That's
well,
why I
yeah.
said closer. Hence the It changes.
That's like me
the
saying, "Hey
meaning.
Dawson, I want to be close to you. I'm flying into Michigan." You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, cool.
It'd be different if you were like coming into LA because then
Yeah,
Andre and I would maybe make the trek and be like, you want to go halvesies on gas and just drive to LA?
See, there's no LA
He's
convention.
closer to me than Andre.
Yeah. See?
Hey, go see Sean.
Yeah,
He's
there you
waiting
go.
for
How
you.
to Sean?
Oh man, but yeah, I'm gonna try to do that one because I'm trying to add more conventions more out west.
Wow, man.
Because I'm at 10 conventions this year already lined up.
Look at
But I'll-
you.
Damn.
You
I wanna
know how
get to
many
about
conventions
12,
I'm
maybe
a part of?
13.
0. Just like Ryan.
Well, fuck you. We want to try and go to New York Comic Con, right, Dawson?
What?
We want to try and go to New York Comic Con.
We do.
We
We
want
do.
to try. We will try.
You
Whether
know,
we will.
You're
is
I
a
you're
different
gonna
think
story.
get a
one
booth
day. What?
What?
there? At New York Comic Con, you're gonna try to get a booth.
Yeah, it's expensive. So like it's
It's
kind of a
offensive.
long-
No,
he's
it's
gonna be right
expensive.
next to
It's so
the
expensive.
right, his booth is gonna be right next to the restroom.
No, it'd be very expensive.
He
if I
said
could pull
it's
it off, but-
expensive, and I thought he said it's offensive. Like,
It's offensive. Oh yeah. DJW Art.
Oh man. Yeah, I appreciate
Well,
that, Sean. Saying
what did he
Phoenix
say?
is nice.
Phoenix is nice time
Oh,
of year.
he's got. Oh yeah, he's in Phoenix. That's right.
Yeah.
You know how hot it is in Phoenix? I went there during the
Well, I thought
summer
you were
one
setting up
time.
for a joke.
Holy crap! By 11 o'clock, we were all inside. It was so hot.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
Droga
Arizona
has
ain't
a clutch question here. Do you think Iron Man will cameo in Superman Legacy?
Absolutely fucking not.
Could be.
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe it could happen. You never know. You never
James Gunn
know.
gonna come through.
Okay. Speaking of that, kind of a segue. Did you guys see Frank Grillo's shade thrown at the MCU in his
Yeah,
recent
I did.
interview?
I did. And
Oh my god,
well,
that was so funny.
it was kind of weird that they killed off his character so quickly when they could have kept him alive. But I mean, look,
Yeah.
I think if this was a more like if this happened later, they would have been like, oh, let's feature him in like a Disney Plus series. But at the time, they were like, look, we don't really have any plans for your character, so we're just gonna go ahead and kill you off. It is what it is.
Yeah, that was
I
Rick
think
Flag
he has
Senior.
Yeah, exactly. And I think now he has a much brighter, if you want to say that, future with the DCU.
Do you think that they're
as, Rick
gonna
Flag Senior.
stab his father in the heart?
No.
I think with CG.
And I think that, I think, Rick Flag
yeah.
is just going to remain dead, and Rick Flag Sr. will be like the incarnation of Rick Flag in general. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to bring back Rick Flag after.
No,
Suicide Squad
no,
Senior.
no. That kind of
They wouldn't
would
do that.
remind people of yesteryear and all that.
I
and
think Rick
people-
Flag Senior actually might show up in Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Yay.
But I mean,
You haven't watched it. Shut up.
Yeah.
oh, he did. He did. He watched the
Okay,
first two
fair.
episodes.
He
and
watched
I
then-
gave it a
and
chance,
That's
and I
true.
couldn't
That's
do
fair.
it anymore.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
You know, Andre told me something recent that he.
Oh,
he-
go ahead.
he
Yeah,
tried
tell
to
him,
give it
tell
a
him.
chance, but
Tell him.
couldn't get through it.
What was it?
The Marvels.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
So today I'm like, I'm watching the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, and I'm like, hey, you know what? The most recent movie is the Marvels. You know what? Let me watch it again and see, how I like it again.
Nope.
No, I got maybe almost halfway, and then I was just like, all right,
You
well, I
got to
gotta
the
go do
point where they
something
got
else.
to the singing planet, didn't you?
No, and that's the thing. I thought for sure I'd get there and that'd be it. But no, like I got all the way until they saved the scrolls, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And then I kept thinking about the cat scene later on and the singing planet later on, and I was like,
Nope.
I'm just gonna I gotta go do some stuff around the house. I just got left.
I still haven't watched it.
You should
see a lot
watch
of
it.
People, I keep seeing a lot of people post on Facebook like, "Oh, it's so much better than people made it out to me," and I was like, "Okay," but like,
I'll tell
If
you
you
what.
want to form your own opinion on it, watch the movie. At the very
Yeah.
least, if you're
It's not
really-
gonna kill you.
No, it won't.
I know. Well,
If
I just don't care.
If you find yourself super bored by it,
Yeah.
just skip to the end and watch the post credit scene. I'm telling you.
Yes, that was
See,
the
I've
whole
already
reason
seen, I've
why I
already seen
watched
the
it.
post credit scene. I've
Yeah.
seen the post credit scene. So
That
like,
was the
I'm
best
spoiled
part of the
enough.
movie.
Well,
That was the best part of the
was
movie.
Great.
So, guys, welcome to episode 165.
Well,
Today
Ryan's
we're
brain
talking about
reset.
Deadpool and Wolverine, Madam Web, and some other things too.
I mean, first we kind of wanted to talk about
Oh,
something
you're
that
wearing the shirt. Nice.
oh yeah, he is wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
But Andre, you have something pulled up that we wanted to talk about real quick. In regards
did.
to the former DCU. Yeah.
So this is some concept art released by, I think it's Jared Morantz. And he did concept art for Hal Jordan in the 2017 Justice League movie. So here it is right here, and here's some close-ups on it. I think it's just this is just a generic Hal Jordan. I don't think it's actually an
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah, no. There's no
But see,
actor side to this.
he's got the
They hadn't cast anybody for it, so
Yeah.
it's just like make how.
but the suit is similar in how it projects the logo, similar to Jon Stewart. So there's that kind
sure
of
as fuck is
continuity.
Stan Benjamin.
It looks a hell of a lot like the other, the Kilowog one.
Look at that.
Yeah, it does. Does look a lot
You know,
like Kilowog.
and this is the Kilowog one was the one that I sort of modeled my Hal Jordan for the Project Justice League. that we
Project
did.
Justice League, yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I didn't have
My
the
glove.
I didn't have the butt cheeks like that, but
Ooh.
you know, his outfit looked very similar to this.
He must work out.
Yeah.
This is very much like a modernized take on Hal Jordan's traditional suit because he does have the white gloves and the white shoes.
Yeah, and that was something that I noticed when I first saw it was the white boots and the white gloves. I like that, you know. Now, is this the final version that they were going to go with? No, but this is the concept art that he submitted and did for Warner Brothers. Now, it says on here that Jared S. Morantz shared an early Hal Jordan Green Lantern concept art for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Well, really, I think it was back in 2017, though.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it after?
Well, I mean, it would have been pre-production.
No, I said 2017.
Yeah, it would have been pre-production of when Zack was still attached to it. So technically, it would have been Zack Snyder's Justice League at the time.
You'd have to imagine that the inclusion of Hal Jordan probably wasn't his idea, though. It was probably a good old ball cap's idea.
Probably.
That's my guess. Because he is a huge Hal Jordan fan.
Oh, yeah. He said, I had an incredible time working on Justice League. It was such a long time ago. So that's what lends the whole 2017. But still remains as one of the most artistically fulfilling jobs of my career. It was a great team of artists working in both the U.S. and U.K. Working with costume designer Michael Wilkinson was wonderful. So, I mean, like I said, was this going to be the final version of the suit? I don't know. Maybe. But I think it looks pretty badass. And that's when it's fully lit up. With the green haze. And I mean, it's funny because I mean, when you if you actually go and watch Project Justice League, which is right here on the 4Nerds Network, you'll know that in the storyline, Hal Jordan was going to be in this storyline. And I think when you look at the storyboards and then you look at the way Zack Snyder's Justice League was made, you saw Jon Stewart at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then there would be a part 2, and then there would be a part 3, and in part 3 is when you would meet Hal Jordan crashing down into Earth looking for Jon Stewart, who he presumed is either missing or dead. And then you would see, you would have probably have seen Wayne T. Carr's Green Lantern return at the end of the movie for the final battle, because then he'd alter the timeline. Now everyone's still alive, and now they're going to kick some ass on Darkseid. So. I know, and there's a lot of talk about like, oh, well, he didn't want to use Hal Jordan. He wanted Jon Stewart as his Green Lantern. Well, I think he wanted Jon Stewart in the role that
Lantern.
I think he wanted Jon Stewart to be a part of the Justice League in part 2. That makes sense, because then when you get to the Nightmare timeline in part 3 and Hal Jordan crashes on Earth, he again is presuming like, okay, where's Jon Stewart? He's my partner. Is he either dead or missing? Like, we don't know what happened to him. Oh, I got fucking wiped out by Darkseid. So, I'm here to find him.
Well,
that makes sense.
And so it's like it makes you wonder if. Hang on, hold on.
I do think they were probably trying to figure out which one was going to be on the team for part 2, and then which one would crash. But obviously, based on the storyboards, you can kind of piece together which way it was initially supposed to go.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's cool. It's cool looking concept art. I mean, would have been nice, but
I like the white edging on like the rib cage and the abs, as well as like on the sides of the pecs. I think it's really nice.
Yeah. If you want to make a very big distinguished difference between the 2011 movie that Ryan Reynolds made and this one, then this would be a very good way to
They tried to make it more of a suit instead of an which I really did. I enjoyed like the way that he and Sinestro and all the
that movie's not as bad as people make it out to be.
It's not.
There's a lot of stuff that's in it that's not good, but there are elements in there that I'm like, oh man, this could have been
there's
really
stuff in it
good.
that works, right? Like there's stuff in it as far as like Green Lantern lore is concerned that actually
right. Well, even with the Guardians, like the Guardians, I loved. I was like, oh, this is great. It was great. The Michael Clark Duncan as the voice of Kilowog was fantastic. The other guy from Pirates of the Caribbean as Tomaray was
right.
Great.
Oh yeah, he was great as Tomaray.
And I wasn't completely sold on Ryan Reynolds. I still, just because he's, the fast talker, whatever. I thought, Wally West was more his kind of thing. And, because, I think Hal's more of a dick and just more straightforward and just not that type of personality. He has the look, but I think that even the soundtrack, having the guitar riff playing did not, it should have been a score. And then the villain Paradox, coming up as a fart, cloud was Parallax. Coming in as a fart cloud,
powered by Miralax.
I didn't like that. I thought a better villain would have been like Kona.
I'm going to be honest. I think they should have done something like the Manhunters.
The Manhunters would have been awesome, but I like how they did it in the animated, where it was like season 2.
Yeah,
like they I would have loved to have had them explore like how they got reactivated. Like, shit, this is what this is what we had before, and it was sort of like a hidden thing, and like it was,
I think
that would have been great.
I think you save Parallax, in a perfect world, right? Like you do like the Manhunters for movie 1, then you do like a full-blown Sinestro Corps war for movie 2, and then in the third film, if you want to pass the torch on from Hal Jordan to fucking whoever, you do Parallax and effectively like turn Hal Jordan into Parallax, and then you have the rest of the Green Lanterns having to come together to effectively like put him out of commission, and then kind of run through it that way. But
that would have been cool. That would have been cool. But I would have preferred like the first movie just off world, like not really dealing a whole lot with Earth.
Right.
And that would have been great. Parts. And that's what I liked about the animated, series was like, it was just red versus green. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. You don't even have to worry about the Sinestro Corps yet. You still have Sinestro teaching him, the ropes and all that kind of shit. And then, you do that, then you move on to the color
spectrum, the rest
of
the rest of the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Green Lantern corner of DC lore is a mine worth picking. Honestly, I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do there. I mean, to Ryan's point, like you could have done like the Manhunters. You could have done fucking Atrocitus and the Red Lanterns too.
Oh yeah,
think about willpower versus that would have been fucking badass.
That would have been awesome because they're vicious as shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like they're fucking ruthless, right? Like awesome. You could have done like, and I think at that point though, if you do like Red Lanterns and then you kind of move into Yellow Lanterns, you're kind of doing rinse repeat. You're kind of falling into Iron Man MCU territory there. But even then, like it still would make for a fun idea. But yeah, like I do feel like there were other options they could have done, but man, they just really blew their load with a really shitty version of Parallax in that first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but the suit, going back to the suit, it looks great. Like I like it. I wish it could have been brought to life, but hey, that's just the way shit is.
Yeah, this
and then combined with Michael Wilkinson.
Yeah,
Michael Wilkinson would have just rocked this, honestly.
It makes you wonder too if the suit was going to be like a organic suit, or was it going to be all CGI like it ended up being?
I think it would have been both.
I think it would have been a mix of both.
Yeah.
Well, because
because they got so much shit, and even Ryan Reynolds made fun of it, about being a CG suit and whatever. Like the worst thing about the Ryan Reynolds suit for me was his mask, but I loved the muscle. You could see the muscle tissue and all that. I loved that. I was like, oh man, it was an energy suit.
It was a unique design, definitely.
Yes. Very, very cool. I don't care about the pajamas. I mean, fucking Ray Fisher wore pajamas. I don't care. Like the suit was fine. But the worst part about it was his mask. His mask looked ridiculous.
It just looked goofy as fuck.
Yes,
there's no way around it.
I mean, what do you guys think about the idea of Ryan Reynolds playing the Green Lantern in Zach's universe? To me,
that would have been fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like that would have been playing on
cool,
like this.
But I mean, we've seen him in that character before, so
I think it would have brought some of the negativity back to. Like how people see it, because nobody liked the film. So they're like, he's just not, he's not Green Lantern. Some people would be like, oh yeah, this is a great different interpretation and all that. But I would have preferred, somebody else, see another person like try to take him on. And because like I said, I think, Ryan Reynolds has a great physique, looks the part, but his personality and the way he chose to portray Hal just doesn't fit the character that from the comic books, which is more straightforward, like fucking Maverick.
It also kind of boils down to like direction, execution. Yeah. I feel like Martin Campbell really, really didn't get it, whereas someone like it again, like I'm not disagreeing with Ryan in the idea that Ryan Reynolds' personality doesn't quite fit with Hal Jordan, because I think in some certain cases it does, but I also think that had he been under the direction of Zack Snyder, I think the execution would have been a lot more smooth in certain respects. I just think that it would have been different enough, and I feel like they could have just leaned into, the parallel universe situation that Greg Weisman always kind of talks about. Like, yeah, this is Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, but it's not the same Green Lantern from that movie from 2011. It's not part of that continuity. But yes, some things do in fact run parallel. And I also think that, again, like, had Zack Snyder directed it, it probably would have been a vastly different take on the character. You probably would have seen them spitballing and doing like ad-libbing like he does with Deadpool. Like, it would have been a very different version of his Green Lantern. But that's all hypothetical at this point.
It is hypothetical, and like I said, I still hold to if they were going to reuse or bring back Ryan Reynolds, the best place for him would have been in the Flash movie, because that was
that would have been fucking cool. But I also, at the same time, I think Ryan Reynolds would have been like, I don't know. If he would have looked at that whole movie, he didn't. Yeah, right.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they actually approached Ryan Reynolds and asked, like, "Hey, can we use like shots of like you or whatever as Green Lantern?" And he'd be like, "No."
Well, Zach even said that it was an idea that he had, but he never actually spoke to him about. Yeah,
it sounded more like an idea they had in passing, and they're just like, "Yeah, it'd be cool," but yeah, nothing ever came out of that.
Yeah,
but.
And even then, like, I don't think that they would need Ryan Reynolds' permission. They own the movie. I mean, did they need the permission of Christopher Reeve or George Reeves to use their likeness?
I guess not so much to use shots, maybe like getting him back in, maybe shoot a shot or something. Like, that's probably more.
And it's the same thing with Brando when they used his likeness and the in Superman Returns. They had to go to the Brando estate and they had to pay them and all that.
Well, the same, And so when it came to Chris Reeve, they had to go to the Reeve estate and say, "Hey, can we use this?" And then subsequently, all the Reeves family completely trashed what they did in the Flash. I was like, oh man. I mean, it wasn't the greatest work I've ever seen, but it's funny how they trashed it. How they were like, "Oh, this is a disgrace what they did to Superman and Chris Reeve," and in the Flash movies. I was like, fuck. I mean, really, everything was against that movie to begin with. So the fact that we even got that movie is pretty astonishing in itself. But
it is astonishing that we actually got it. That's weird.
Speaking of the Flash, I actually just saw today that Muschietti is moving forward on shooting, or rather continuing shooting the Derry Welcome to Derry prequel, Its Story in Ontario, and it's supposed to wrap by July, and allegedly after that he's putting all his focus in Brave and the Bold, which to me would signal, like, if Superman Legacy is the first film out the gate and they're probably going to do Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, then that leads me to think that the next thing that could go into production is either Authority or Brave and the Bold. It's got to be one of those two.
Wasn't there a comment from James Gunn saying that we were going to get the completion of the Matt Reeves Batman universe before we got the Brave and the Bold? I thought
if there is, I didn't see it. If there
is, I think you're making that
thought
up.
I read that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Check your sources.
Yeah. Where was he?
I thought I read that
out of the air.
Yeah, off of Twitter. Yeah, there you go.
What are you reading the tweet?
Oh man.
No. While Andre looks that up, wasn't there some sort of news on the Brave and the Bold, like casting wise for Bruce Wayne or something? Or?
No.
There was like rumors of like people that could be cast.
Okay.
It's funny because that rumor circulates like once every couple weeks, and James Gunn has to continue to come out and be like, "No, we're not fucking casting Batman yet. Chill the fuck out."
Yeah.
Even though people like Charles Murphy, we got Toast, and fucking other people are like, "Oh yeah, they're casting Batman. Oh, they're totally casting Batman." It's like, no, the fuck they're not. Knock it off. Like, this is not fucking happening right now. Y'all need to stop fishing for attention because it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It looks like what he actually said. I got it wrong. What he did say was that they will not have to wait until the end of the trilogy to get the Brave and the Bold. So, it
was exactly opposite of what you were saying. So you were about to put that false narrative out there for our viewers.
I tried to, but thanks to Ryan Zeeverfett, he saved
I got to fact check
fans.
you, man. I got to fact check. I got to keep you honest. Got to keep it real. Keep it 100. Keep it 100.
At the very least,
even though I'm the one who brought up the information.
I know.
At the very least, that means Brave and the Bold is probably going to be set, or not set, but it's going to come in between part 2 and part 3 of the Batman.
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
It would definitely come before the creek.
But we mentioned, we were talking about Ryan Reynolds. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, there was a pretty big trailer that's
right,
appeared.
Planet of the Apes.
That did not feature Ryan Reynolds, but this one did. This is Deadpool and Wolverine, which we finally got the official title. So let's watch this trailer. I mean, Andre is convinced that they won't do anything to us. So
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go take care of something really quick.
He doesn't want to watch the trailer. He doesn't want to watch it. He's gonna start tearing up.
Here we go. We'll press.
Oh, he left. Oh shit! No.
What he's doing? Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, okay. It's been a challenging few years, for sure, but I'm happy. That is because of each and every one of you. I'm the luckiest man alive.
Make a wish, buddy.
Wade Wilson? Who's asking?
Ask him.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that supposed to be scary? Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
I ad-libbed that. Love those colors, don't you?
Miss Wilson, you appear to have soiled yourself while unconscious.
Matthew McFadden is one sexy son of a bitch, isn't he?
Why am I here?
Walk with me.
It's Mr. Darcy.
Wade, you are special.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
This is your chance to be a hero among heroes.
Jazz hands.
I smell what you're stepping in, Sensei. Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever.
I hope that's not a line in the movie.
I am
Marvel Jesus. Doesn't he just look sexy?
That's a cool shot.
Beautiful. Sean Levy did a wonderful job. Look, boys, it's our friend Pyro.
Wait!
Not gonna lie, that one kind of hurt. Secret Wars.
That was a good little cameo of a comic for sure.
Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Now, I bet you're all wondering,
Badass.
whose balls did we have to fondle to get Hugh Jackman back in the yellow suit? I'll tell you, it rhymes with Peggin Kaigi.
Oh man. Like,
Dude, this
there's a
one's
lot that I
badass.
like about that trailer.
Yes.
My one hang up.
There's a fuck ton to love about this trailer.
Wow.
Andre. Let me tell
Dawson's
you
already
something.
going to give us some negativity on
I have
the trailer.
one hang up, and this is just a personal thing. This is a personal thing. It's not a quality issue. It's just
Get
a
out of the way,
Wow,
shit cheeks.
this is personal now.
When he says, "I see what's going on with your like cinematic universe," that's, I know he's meta. That might, I don't know, that might borderline be too much meta for my personal taste. But if it's not in the movie, then it's just in the trailer.
You were cool with
Oh,
Disney?
we're putting it in the movie deliberately to piss you off. Just letting you know.
I'm not
that
saying it
right
pisses me
now.
off. It's just, I don't know. I find it to be kind of an
Well,
odd-
Just admit it. You're mad. You're pissed off.
Yeah.
We get
No,
it.
I'm really excited. for
Nerd.
this.
This is the guy that you guys want to see at Comic Cons. Come on now.
No, I'm
Well,
really excited for
but
this. Like,
if you look
I
at
think
all the
it's really
scenes
fun.
too, it's like they're essentially in some kind of void where the Fox version of the X-Men is like literally falling apart. So
Yeah.
I think
It's
there's going to be some
destroyed
kind
home
of like,
there.
yeah,
It's
there's
dunzos.
going to be some kind of talk about how they're being absorbed by Disney, you know, and everyone's just, the whole world's falling apart. I don't know. It looks really cool though. They're going to have
It
a
looks
shit ton of
fucking
cameos.
amazing, Andre. What are you talking about?
Looks badass. I
looks
can't wait to
fucking
see it.
flawless.
We got RJ in the chat.
Let me tell you something, guys. 365 million views in 24 hours. We beat Spider-Man. We beat both Avengers movies. This is, and I quote, going to be the biggest fucking Marvel movie of all time. Thanks to me, Marvel. Jesus, you're welcome.
It's definitely gonna get up there for sure.
Yeah, but
RJ
yeah,
here
it's gonna be bigger
says-
than the
Okay,
Flash.
I need to go shit out a burrito now. I will talk to you fucking nerds later.
Bill Poole making his appearance.
Bill Poole.
Bill Poole.
But RJ here is saying, man, this trailer is nothing on Madam Web. Madam Web is the real quality
Oh.
of entertainment. How could anyone be excited for this compared to that masterpiece from Sony?
I mean,
Sony.
the thing is that already in views, it surpassed Spider-Man No Way Home.
God, I
And it
missed
goes
it.
to
Didn't
show
I?
you, and it goes to show you that like this is probably one of the most, if not most popular characters that Marvel has acquired or Marvel has at this point, probably next to Spider-Man. And they have to nail this movie, and I think they're going to. And I really like how the TVA is involved in this because it makes it such a grander scale that you're dealing with the TVA. Now, it's kind of weird to me that Owen Wilson is not in this movie because it feels like if he was in it, it would there'd be more continuity.
He's
we have this
rumored
other
to
guy
be in it.
instead.
Yeah,
He's
it's
definitely
exactly
rumored to
that
be in it.
Loki.
But like we
Yeah.
had the other guy instead, so it was kind of like, oh, like it just sort of felt like shouldn't that have been Owen Wilson in that
I think
role?
okay. I think that's actually intentional because they kind of want to like not spoof it per se, but they want to make fun of the fact that this has happened before with like, you had Loki and Mobius, but now you've got fucking Paradox played by Matthew McFadden and Deadpool, and they're really trying to riff hard on like that whole interaction that we saw in Loki, but this time it's through the guise of Deadpool, right? Like I think is the shit of it, but also it's very important to remember that the TVA is in a very different place now than where they were when we first got to Loki in season 1. They're now avidly tracking down Kang variants. But if you paid close enough attention to this trailer, the villain of the movie, there was one shot. There was a bald person
Wolverine.
with pointy ears. No. The rumored villain of this movie, played by Emma Corrin, is apparently Cassandra Nova, and Cassandra Nova is in essence essentially the evil twin sister Professor Xavier.
Okay.
And given that we're now in like the multiverse saga, and this movie plays heavily with like variants, and we know for fact there are going to be variants of not only Deadpool and Wolverine in this movie, because there was a shot of Deadpool walking through what appears to be maybe Madripoor, and you see Wolverine in a fucking tuxedo. That's Patch. That is a variant of Wolverine. Allegedly, I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw a video earlier today that version of Wolverine, that Patch character, may or may not be played by Daniel Radcliffe. I'm not really putting any stock into it because that headpiece looks a lot like Hugh Jackman's. I honestly think Hugh Jackman could be playing a couple different versions of Wolverine in this movie, but I wouldn't put it past anybody to see like other people who were rumored to be taking over.
Oh, like Tom Cruise?
No.
As Iron Man?
No.
What's funny is if they had Hugh Jackman play all the variants of Wolverine, they'd kind of make a joke about like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's like, hey, the same issue as Doctor Strange. He looked the same in every universe. Something like that. They could definitely play with that for sure. And then I didn't notice that was Pyro until someone had pointed out on social media. That's pretty cool. They got him back for that.
Yeah, from X2 and X3. Yeah. It's Aaron Stanford, something like that. Same actor.
I mean, the fact that they brought him back, and then we know that Sabretooth, the original Sabretooth, is going to be in this movie as well.
Tyler Mane.
And a few other characters. And so
Ray
they're really
Park.
going to. But I mean, a lot of those characters, it feels like they're going to probably kill off because there's no future for them in the MCU. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. But it looks like, I mean, look, when you look at the main, like the longer shots in the trailer, it's all the same shots from the photos and videos, from the set leaks. So really, like we've only seen like one scene really of this movie, and that's why the scene of Patch and the scene of him likely walking through Madripoor, those are what's so cool. It's like, okay, these are the parts we haven't seen yet. We've seen
because all that was shot on a soundstage.
Yeah,
right.
We've seen a ton of him with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, fighting each other and doing all that. So it's gonna be cool to see everything else that the story has. And I love that he was in the TVA, like at their headquarters. And I mean, look, the fact that they showed, Chris Evans, Captain America, you saw Iron Man. They had 3 shots from Age of Ultron. I think it's
3
just
separate screens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you're seeing those legacy characters coming back, because more than likely they're trying to assemble a team. And there's a shot of Deadpool in the forest, and it looks like the same. It could be the same forest as the one from the beginning of Age of Ultron, which would be
either
really
that,
cool.
Or it's also the forest from the first or second X-Men movie where Storm and Cyclops are fighting Sabretooth, or they run into Sabretooth. It could be one or the other.
That lends a lot to the shots that we saw of Sabretooth running around fighting him, because they could have shown up right after that, And then
Yeah.
Sabretooth kind of gets up and is like, "Rah!" And then
Well,
this
also,
time he killed him.
Halle Berry, apparently, like her hair was white not too long ago, so it's rumored that she might be back as Storm in this too. Like, there's a lot of heavy X-Men, like original X-Men, like X1, X2, X3 cast members potentially coming back for this. And I mean, if the villain of the film is a fucking evil version of Professor Xavier, you can almost guarantee there's going to be some glimmer of Patrick Stewart's Professor X somewhere in this too. Probably, maybe.
I would imagine that he's going to make an appearance in this movie, but I mean, that hasn't been confirmed or anything, but
I've seen this
makes sense.
Also, I've seen this really shitty Photoshop of Ian McKellen saying, "Oh, this is a leaked image from Deadpool 3." I'm like, no, the fuck it isn't. It's like, no, this is a poorly made Photoshop image of Ian McKellen as Magneto. Get the fuck out of here. It's nonsense. But to that same point, like, if you're going to do Professor X and have it be Patrick Stewart, I wouldn't at all be shocked to see Ian McKellen come back as Magneto in this in some form or another either.
Yeah.
Well, and two, it's like, I think Fassbender's Magneto is so good, but will we ever see him again? I don't know. We got this member for 29 months over on my channel. Thank you, Kinky Sphincter. He says,
"Oh, nice.
Oh, Donna.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
So this is something I actually thought about while watching this trailer. So with the second movie, the first trailer they teased, right? The very first trailer they teased of Cable, and they had his arm, and it was like it wasn't finished. Like they made a fucking joke about the mustache from Justice League, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if they make a Snyder Cut joke in Deadpool 3?
They might. It wouldn't surprise me. Another interesting thing too was that in that opening birthday scene is that you saw Shatterstar and you saw what's his name, Dave, I think it was.
Saw,
Dave.
Oh no, it's oh fuck, the
guy who has no powers.
Yeah. Peter.
Because
Quill.
I mean, look, Peter Quill. So
Peter,
because he's
Colossus,
using time travel to save some of these guys, and that's why the TVA is alerted his presence, because they're like, hey, he's fucking with the timeline.
You know what's really ironic about that whole opening? Number one, it kind of feels like a Disney movie. Number two, the trailer debuted one day before the very first Deadpool movie hit theaters in 2016. So it's literally like, hey, buddy, happy birthday.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Almost in a weird kind of way. But yeah, I found that very ironic. And also, if I had like a really big question for it, it's like, why the fuck is he wearing a wig?
Yeah. That is, it's maybe
I think
more
it's just to make him look, it's probably just silly, just to like not be bald.
Sure.
So
yeah,
I mean, in the rest of it, he's bald. When he's with the TVA, he's still bald. He didn't ask for a wig, But yeah, it looks fun. I'll probably watch Deadpool 3 before I see Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
it looks more interesting to me.
That sounds on par for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the only Marvel movie, like Marvel Studios movie, hitting theaters this year, and honestly, like for me anyway,
fun.
Yeah, it does. I think for me,
I mean,
like the real get is like the fact they've got Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine costume. Like that is something I've wanted to see for like 20 years. Like that's my
even
the title alone. Short, the title alone like sells me on this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like you guys have been maker. That's 100% because they've been like teasing it and like throwing it around since the first Deadpool movie. Like Deadpool's always been cracking jokes.
It's
like,
in the briefcase. Yeah.
Like whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? It rhymes with Wolverine. Like they've been largely hinting at like a Deadpool Wolverine thing for years, and it's like, okay, we're finally gonna fucking pay this off, and it's awesome. It's gonna be
even the teaser at the very end, he doesn't have his cowl on, as you can see right there. It's like, why do you have to take the fucker off?
Well, actually, if you pay close enough attention, his cowl is actually like it's flapped back. It's gonna be a hood.
Okay.
But you have to like do a freeze frame of it to see the actual cowl.
I'm glad that they're doing it that way, because I swear on everything that is holy, if they made that mask nanotech,
nanotech. Oh, that'd be great. I'd love nanotech. Oh man, nanotech. I just like saying nanotech.
Given how practical a large portion of this movie is, I highly doubt his fucking cowl is going to be practical.
Good
or digital. Sorry,
it will be practical. It'll be nanotech.
I highly doubt it'll be nanotech. Is what I was getting at.
But I like the wide eyes, and I think it'll probably have the same.
You can't do that with
animation
Wolverine.
feature.
You can't do it with Batman.
That Deadpool has.
You can't do it with Batman.
I think after you do Wolverine, I think they're going to heavily lean into can we do this for Batman?
I don't think
If
so.
you could do it for these two, why not?
Why couldn't
don't
you? I
think
mean, Wolverine is Marvel's Batman, just with
Marvel has a couple different Batmans.
or Black Panther's another one.
Black Panther, Moon Knight,
Moon Knight's another, yeah.
Wolverine, fucking
The amalgamation of all of them are Batman, so.
more or less. Like you take aspects from all three of those characters, you have Batman.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, even Iron Man is Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's another one. He's another Batman knockoff, more or less.
And
So
he doesn't have eyes behind his mask.
He has no idea.
he's got
He's blind.
none whatsoever. RJ says no Domino or Cable. I wouldn't say that quite yet, buddy. Like, we're talking about fucking Josh Brolin here, and he's using Cable's time travel fucking technology. There's no way they don't like make any kind of illusion, or even at the very least show Cable in some capacity. I highly doubt that they're flat out not in this movie. And if they're not, they're not. But there's something to me that just says, I don't think they're going to pass up on this. Zazie Beetz, on the other hand, I think she said she's not in the movie. So,
oh, okay. Yeah, she's holding out for Joker too.
yeah, I think he is in Joker too. I think. I don't know. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is definitely, I speak for a lot of people. I think that this is the most anticipated Marvel thing for me, in a while, in a
Same.
long time.
Big same.
Probably since
No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
is.
that's true. That's actually true.
Yeah. And then, like, I guess I had hype for Daredevil, but that's not coming out till afterwards for a while. So
Probably not till next year.
Yeah, which stinks. But
you know, had the strikes not happened, that show would have hit this year. Because their planned date to release that was this year.
But
Yeah,
would
but
it have been the original version that
exactly.
Maybe. I don't know. You know, it's kind of difficult to tell because, you know.
Because maybe the strikes gave him time to think things over and realize, hey, maybe this won't work.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think the new version that we're going to get of Daredevil Born Again is going to be so much better, especially that it incorporates the old cast in the Netflix series. But it's funny though, because I mean, I know Phil and I were talking about this a while back, that you know, there's a whole bunch of connections to the original Daredevil Born Again story in season 3 of Netflix's Daredevil. So
Right.
it's kind of funny how they would do, we're going to do Born Again, but they're really not. They're just doing their own version of, they're just doing their own Daredevil story. Because I mean, they're not going to do Born Again. There's no way, and it would be too similar to what you saw in season 3.
It's more like it's more like.
But they're actually putting Bullseye in a fucking costume this time.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But I mean, there were so many things that were similar to the original story, the comic storyline. I mean, the fact that he put on the Daredevil suit and acted like Daredevil was the same thing that happened in the comic. You know, getting thrown into the East River or whatever it was in the taxi cab, the same thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So there were so many similarities because I obviously at the time they didn't think that was ever going to happen. So they were like, oh shit. But that's why I think it's funny they called it Daredevil Born Again. I think they just took the name and said, yeah, he's born again in the MCU.
It's like Batman Brave and the Bold.
It's an it's an Age of Ultron situation, more or less.
Yeah, definitely. But
just taking the title and using it for namesake.
Yeah, like you know, Civil War,
like Brave and the Bold.
Civil War.
Brave and the Bold.
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Like, I've read Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, and I can tell you with certainty that the movie Infinity War is more or less half of Infinity Gauntlet. And then Endgame kind of takes the other half of Infinity Gauntlet and then kind of runs and does its own thing by the end of it. But yeah.
Well, I know Infinity War was in the comics has a lot more of Adam Warlock in the story as well.
That is also true.
He's like a huge prominent figure in that storyline.
Dude, Adam Warlock is so tied to the Infinity Stones, and the movies don't even attempt at all to do any of that.
He
like
just
Adam
flies in from deep space.
Not even that. Like, Adam Warlock is the holder of the Soul Stone, and they completely changed that in Infinity War and Endgame. Like, how the Soul Stone operates, how it works, everything tied to the Soul Stone has fucking shit fuck all to do with Adam Warlock in the movies. Whereas in the comics...
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say in the comics, like Adam Warlock is the keeper of the Soul Stone. It's like in his fucking head, and like there's a whole soul world. There's a whole bunch of different shit that happens with the Soul Stone and Adam Warlock in the comics. It's fucking wild.
Well, and like they introduced his cocoon in, I think it was Guardians Part 1.
2. Guardians 2.
And so they had an opportunity to kind of bring his character along, but I think it was just
too little, too late.
Yeah, pretty much.
That,
but,
like, I find it funny that James Gunn, like, throughout the creation of every Guardians movie, he was like, yeah, I had a draft of it with Adam Warlock. Yeah, Adam Warlock was meant to be in it. And then finally in the third movie, he's like, oh yeah, I finally get to do Adam Warlock. And it's like, yeah, this is
he does a
nothing like
shit job.
It's like it's fucking nothing like Adam Warlock in the comics. It's like, well, that's a snooze.
The character wasn't
Thanks,
even
dude.
needed in the fucking film.
No, he really
Yeah,
wasn't.
he
You could have
wasn't.
done
He
any
wasn't.
other cosmic character like Quasar or any other character that had like cosmic ties to the Guardians, and you could have achieved the same fucking thing.
Yeah, and you would have had more freedom to work around it with Quasar because, like, let's be honest, unless you know deep cut into Marvel Comics, you don't know who Quasar is.
Right.
It's like you could easily play around with that, like James Gunn.
You could have even done fucking Nova.
Yeah,
You could have had Nova do the same thing.
Yeah,
Like-
you
like
teased Nova basically in the first two movies, essentially, and you did jack squat with him.
Right, like you, the Sovereign people could have very easily just been like, went to the remnants of the Nova Corps and been like, "Hey, can you go take out the fucking Guardians for us?" And it probably could have achieved the same fucking thing Adam Warlock did in the movie.
Yeah,
But I digress.
if not more.
Yeah, but
Or less.
you know, it is what it is. Whether or
Or
not Nova
more.
actually shows up before Secret Wars, I'd be surprised. I
Yeah,
would
I-
actually be
yeah.
surprised if like one of those Secret Phase 6 projects is a Nova project. I'd be fucking shocked.
Well, it's rumored
Yeah, I don't
that,
see them introducing
that they're
him.
trying to, do the Nova project, but I don't think it's going to come out before Secret Wars.
It's been
It-
rumored for
it-
years, though.
for
That's been rumored
years.
since like Phase
just like Green
3.
Lantern.
It's
what I
coming
mean?
out
So
on
it's-
HBO Max.
I know. Stay tuned. But when it comes to Deadpool 3 or Deadpool and Wolverine, I think there's a lot riding on this because if you look at the most recent theatrical release from Marvel, it was the Marvels, and that was
It was their
really
lowest grossing one of all time.
It bombed. So they have a lot riding on this, but I think when you have a character like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and you have Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, that's gonna make that, to me, having those two in the movie, it will make $1 billion. Everyone wants to see this.
Yeah, given the fact that this trailer broke the records of every previous $1 billion Marvel Studios hit, I'm not going to take that check to the bank, but I feel kind of comfortable writing it. Like
It has the best chance of any of the recent by far.
Well, do you think that it would, because it would make them so much money? Do you think that it would, that going forward, having that, that extra cash to be like, you know what, we need to revamp and
no.
kinda do
I think
no,
they
it's
would
not.
look
They're
at
gonna with this, with these companies and shit, they learn the wrong lessons
every time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Kevin Feige has never been one to learn the wrong lesson at all. I think he's going to look at this and be like, okay, we need to do more movies like this, in the sense of we need to get people who actually want to make this fucking movie and make a fucking story that people actually want to go to the theater to see, and stop churning out typical superhero fucking sequels. That's
the
what
Marvels,
I think.
like the Marvels in general. Like, would I let my kids watch the Marvels? Yeah, I would, because it's so vanilla that like they could watch it and be like, yeah, it's like you're watching a big cartoon.
Right.
This is gonna be a little bit different. This is gonna be, it's gonna be violent. It's gonna have foul language. So for Disney, at least Disney Marvel, they're taking a big jump forward. Like, okay, we've never done this before under our brand name, but they have to because they need to appeal to a wider audience.
Yeah, so
and
this is
I'm
gonna be a
sorry.
touchstone.
Well, not only that, like the majority of their audience are fucking adults now. Like since the MCU has been created, a lot of people who've been there since Iron Man 1 are fucking adults now. Like
But at the
all
same
of us.
time, though,
for Christ's sake.
there's been a
I've been
lot of
adult
talk
for
about the whole thing about the MCU.
Oh,
And
God.
I think when you look and I'm not one to sit here and call out MCU, but when you look at what the path that they've been taking, where they've been introducing these new younger female characters and all that, I just think that they went down a path where they kind of overstepped their own boundary, and
They
then
did too much too soon.
too much too soon, and they
Too much
kind
too
of
soon without any worthwhile payoff.
Yes, there's been no payoff whatsoever.
We're talking about
even
Star Wars?
She-Hulk. Like we got the, I watched that series, and at the end of it, I didn't give a shit. I mean, I got to see Daredevil, yay! But it wasn't the same Daredevil. I mean, he seemed completely different from what we saw in the Netflix series. And then, and then they did it again with Echo. It's gonna have a Daredevil in it, and he had one scene in. Guys,
Damn,
what
it was like one scene.
One
Yeah,
scene
he
in
only
a
had
fucking-
one
They had
scene. I was
Daredevil,
like,
but they
dude,
didn't
what the fuck?
But they didn't have this guy. They did not
Lego
have this
Devil.
guy.
Lego Devil.
Netflix Devil.
So to me,
Level.
there was a lot riding on Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, because they need to make sure that this movie hits on all cylinders, which I think it's going to because of who's in the movie.
Slap.
And
And it's
yeah,
also
gonna
got-
slap.
It has no competition at the box office. It's a fucking summer action film.
Just like the trailer, and had no competition. When it
Well,
came
there
out,
really isn't any competition for it, you know?
there's
Like,
no competition.
There's none. Like when it
DC's
comes
taking
to
a break.
DC's taking a break. Fucking Sony's churning out 3 films this year, and one of them's already just getting ridiculed and
Mad
fucking
reviews by
just
RJ.
devastated. Yeah, but it literally like Madam Web is just getting torn to fucking shreds right now by critics and people alike. Like people are not fucking digging that movie at all. So I'm sure Sony is now looking at Craven and Venom like, y'all better fucking do something worth a damn at the box office.
I forgot
Otherwise, we're
Craven's actually coming out.
You know what? I gotta be honest, man. Craven doesn't look that bad. But we've
Is it-
said that
it
about how
doesn't?
many of the Sony movies
You think
lately.
with Morbius. Morbius. didn't look
You
that
can't
bad
trust
either.
the Sony movies. Sony has become like the new version of like the Fox X-Men, where it's like it's either hit or miss. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to Sony, they're the new Fox. Fox doesn't exist anymore.
Well, see,
They're
at
the
least
new
with
ones,
Fox, they
and
were at least for the most part more hit than miss. But now with Sony, it's like they're more miss than hit.
I mean,
Yeah, they need another
A-
Spider-Man movie.
Age of Apocalypse. That was such a letdown.
Let's
To
also
have
be
that big
clear
of a
because,
character and have Oscar Isaac play Apocalypse.
Moon Knight.
He's a little guy.
Here's
He's
the
a
problem,
little
though.
guy. He's like, hey, what's that?
Fox's biggest issue was continuously hiring Bryan fucking Singer
Yeah.
and Simon Kinberg to make X-Men movies
Yes.
repeatedly.
Well, okay, now look,
that was
I
that was
thought
also their biggest flaw.
X2 I thought was a good movie. I also thought Days of Future Past was actually a good
X2
movie.
was a good
I really
good
enjoyed
movie.
Days of Future Past, except for the very end where Mystique has
okay.
Wolverine's body. I was kind of like, what? Like, that was so unnecessary. I was like, oh, okay. And then the next one, they were just like, oh, yeah, we have Wolverine now.
Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. Like, man, Dark Phoenix. Oh my god. Like,
They should. What they should have done is they should have gone X-Men First Class and just fucking taken it from there. Don't fucking tie it into Bryan Singer shit. Just fucking let that shit go.
Yeah, but
And,
I mean, the job they did
go
in
forward.
Days of Future Past, I thought
it was a
good.
fantastic job.
But the problem is that if they already had a plan in place to integrate the X-Men into the MCU, then you could have done something really special. Instead, they were just like, well, what do we do now? Well, let's go to Apocalypse. I mean, the end credit scene where you see them all chanting, En Sabah Noor, about Apocalypse in Egypt, I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be fucking badass. I'm finally gonna see Apocalypse in live action. And then when they were
weren't
like,
really
yeah,
saying that.
what's that?
They were saying hamburger, cheeseburger,
Hamburger. and then when they announced, Oscar Isaac is cast as Apocalypse, I was like, wait, what? I like Oscar Isaac, but I'm like, he's not even that big of a guy.
He wasn't
Like,
even Poe Dameron yet.
That is without a doubt. Like, actually, he was Poe Dameron because X-Men Apocalypse
that
came out in
time?
2016.
Yeah.
X-Men
Yeah.
Apocalypse came out in 2016.
Wow.
The Force Awakens came out in December of 2015. But yeah, like I'm kind of with
bitch.
Andre
a long time ago.
in that, like, Oscar Isaac's a great actor if you
Great
have
actor.
him under really great direction, and also Apocalypse was plagued by Bryan Singer constantly being away from set. It was a cobbled together fucking mess of a movie. And that sucks because you had like Olivia Munn who looked like the perfect fucking version of Psylocke in that movie. You had and the movie ends with them in their comic accurate costumes, and then in Dark Phoenix they completely just shit the bed and go, yeah, let's just go back to doing some Grant Morrison style accurate costumes, and we're just going to completely fuck what happened in Apocalypse. And it's like,
it was so unnecessary.
dude,
I was like,
such
why
a
did they go
slap in the
that route?
face. It was just like, why? And look, I love Grant Morrison's X-Men run. I love New X-Men. That's the run they introduced Cassandra Nova in, for crying out loud. But yeah, I think taking inspiration from him visually, like, it worked for the comic. Having them all in similar suits with yellow X's, black or blue, whatever. Yeah, that works for the comic. But when you do it in live action, it's just kind of bland, and it takes away from the individuality that the X-Men represent.
Well,
but
like
Bryan
in
Singer's
the
bullshit. They were in
first,
fucking leather, black leather, all of them. I was like, this
that's
is
what I'm
stupid.
saying. In the first
I was like,
one,
what
they
is
all
this,
have
the
black
fucking
leather.
Matrix?
And then you went back to that with just the yellow X. In that movie, it was kind of like, wait, when I get what you're doing, but it feels like a step backwards.
Yeah.
What we just saw at the end of
That's
Apocalypse,
Apollo
where
Abdul
everyone was in
even
a comic accurate
in
suit.
Apocalypse, they had them in those really goofy silver and black flight suits towards the end. And it's just
I know.
What the fuck are we doing? Because in First Class, they had them in blue and yellow fucking suits.
Yeah.
The original
they-
suits.
Original suits, number one, but number two, they had suits that fucking fit each version.
It was
or
individual,
each
and that's
individual, yeah.
awesome.
It was great. You had Havoc, you had Banshee,
Mhm.
you had fucking Magneto. Like everyone just looked individual and like unique.
Yeah.
But then you get to Days of Future Past, and it's like, fuck.
Yep.
Oh man, like they're all in these like black dark suits that kind of have color schemes that are kind of coordinated with their characters
Yep.
in the comics, and I'm like, fuck, here we go again. Then we get to fucking Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse, and it's like we're doing the same shit that no one liked in X2 and X3. So what the fuck are we really doing here?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then you go to like the Deadpool movies. Colossus looks like Colossus stepped off the
Right.
fucking page. Deadpool looks perfect.
Yeah,
Negasonic Teenage
that
Warhead looks
Colossus
perfect.
versus the fucking X2, X3 Colossus.
Yeah.
My God,
I mean,
that was
I mean,
horrible.
Look at those
that
suits.
shot.
Look at those suits. Those
I
are
was like,
fucking
holy
comic accurate
shit,
suits.
They did it. Look at Nightcrawler. He has the
Look
red.
at Cyclops. Look at
Yep.
Nightcrawler. Look at Cyclops. Look at Storm, dude. Look at fucking Mystique. She's in her fucking suit from
That's
the 90s.
straight up Mystique right there.
Dude.
And the fact that
Looks
they're like,
fantastic.
oh, you know,
Dude, even
it's
fucking
just whatever.
Quicksilver's in his 90s costume for crying out loud.
I don't.
then they
see
went-
it. Where-
they
can
went-
we put the trench coat on these guys, please? Thank you.
No, we could just, you know,
man.
everyone wearing a uniform suit. I need uniformity for the next one. But this was so cool. At the end
Aren't
of
they
it,
supposed to be a team? They look like a mismatch.
well, it's
they
like
used
the
to
movie
be,
itself, I wasn't a
thrift
huge fan
store.
of. But when I got to
Right.
this scene at the end, I was like, badass.
Yeah.
And then it was like, that was it. You never
And then
saw
they
this
don't pay
ever
this
again.
off. They never
Don't
pay
pay
this
it
off.
off.
That's such a fucking missed opportunity. Oh my goodness.
I mean, Mystique's
Ugh.
suit is perfect. That's her suit.
dude, Jean Grey looks like she stepped off the fucking animated 90s cartoon.
Dude,
Straight up.
Nightcrawler looks badass too, with like
Yeah.
his red kind of
Yeah.
vest.
He's
or
got
whatever
the
that
white
is.
on the gauntlets too. That looks
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah. Oh man, and Storm, like, dude, fuck, like that cast deserves so much better. I'm not even gonna lie, that cast deserves
I
so
mean,
much better.
honestly, I think Ryan has made this point a few times already that the one thing that Bryan Singer does is he does like one scene that's
yes.
like badass. And
Superman
you're just like,
Returns and
whoa!
X2. It's like, you know, he has
Dude.
that one part in the movie that he really gives a shit about.
X1,
and it's-
Wolverine versus Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was good
That's,
too.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Well,
That's
him,
the only-
even Wolverine in the fucking cage pit or whatever
Yes.
the fuck at the beginning, that shit was awesome.
yes.
right?
Or
Well, like,
Nightcrawler
when Bryan
scene
Singer
at the
gave a
beginning of
shit about a
X2?
scene, you could
Okay.
tell.
Nightcrawler and X2. You're right.
Nightcrawler next to
Oh, yeah,
that,
that- yeah, I
scene
mentioned
is just so epic. It's like
As
Well,
bad
the-
as
the
as
Superman
bad as
Returns
Last Stand
plane
is,
scene.
as bad as Last Stand is, even the bridge scene with Magneto is actually kind of dope.
that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's pretty
It was
cool.
pretty
like,
cool.
as fuck awful as that movie is, like just
And then-
that bridge scene was actually kind of dope.
But then when you go to Days of Future Past, they have the Quicksilver scene where they're like, everyone stops and he's running around the room like beating everybody
Yeah.
up. That was
not
like,
gonna lie, like the intros with the Sentinels is actually pretty fucking dope. Where they kind of kill everyone and showcase how Kitty and Wolverine time travel, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, okay, this is cool. Then we get to
Oh,
the
yeah.
70s and everything
She's
just
like,
kind of starts to
you're
peter
too
out
late,
from-
asshole. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone just
Right.
starts to disappear. I was like, whoa. And that was a twist on the story as well. I mean, it was Kitty Pryde using her ability to send Wolverine back
Wolverine.
in time when in reality it was supposed to be her going back in time, but that would have been kind of weird. They would have been like, huh? But I still think, they had a golden opportunity right there. I mean, as much as I love Hugh Jackman, I know Matthew Vaughn's originally his idea was that he was going to cast a younger character to
Yep.
play Wolverine, so that they could
I would
move
have loved
forward
to have seen who that
with
could
a
have
younger
been.
Wolverine. And it
That's
didn't-
that's my one gripe with I love Days of Future Past, but what they should have done at the end is instead of showing us all the old cast, which is all nostalgic and great, what they should have done is have it to where once they save the world from the Sentinel War with the mutants, they should have got it to where it reset to this new X-Men universe and move on from there. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they should have done instead of dwelling too much in the past, which again ended up leading us to a cool Wolverine movie and then a Logan movie, which is fantastic. But I mean, outside of that, you try to extend it past that, and it's like it just didn't work. They tried to have their cake and eat it too, with keeping the old and the new, and it's like I don't know if you necessarily could keep both
I
justifiably.
mean, dude, like at the end of Days of Future Past, when Wolverine wakes up and he's in the future, and you see James Marsden as Cyclops, you see Femke
Janssen.
Janssen
Yep.
as and
Kelsey
you see-
Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer.
They
Logan,
fuck-
don't you have a
Man.
class today? I was like, what?
Second time Kelsey Grammer has been brought in for one scene, and it just works every time.
But then you saw Kitty Pryde with Colossus teaching because they're couples. I was like, oh my god, they went there. And then I love when he's like, Logan, what are you doing here? You're supposed to have a class. And he's like, I don't know, like I can't remember anything past this year, 1976. Yeah, I love
And then
that
what
reaction.
happened?
No, I'm just saying I love that reaction where he realizes, oh my god, you're back, and then it got ruined.
It's a cool scene, but as far as like the grand scope of the X-Men universe,
they ruined it because then right after that cool scene, you see Stryker say, "Yeah, he's all mine." He turns around and he has
and it's fucking Mystique,
I
right?
was
It makes
what?
no sense.
That makes
Makes
no sense.
sense.
Well, I got
at
3
all.
words for you there: Gray's Sports Almanac.
Well,
then in Apocalypse, they have Stryker in the fucking facility, and it's the dude from Future
Yeah,
Past
it was
as
like, what was the
Stryker.
point
And
of
it's
that
like,
scene?
right? Like, why? What the? Did Mystique like play it as Stryker, and then she fucking got found out, and then the real Stryker? Like, I don't know. Like,
It was
there's a lot of-
unnecessary. They were like, "Yeah, we captured her as well, and that's how we
I
got,
guarantee-
that's how we got
guarantee
the
you-
serum to make our Sentinels able to like
I
change the
guarantee you
configuration."
that was like a last second addition because like Stryker, he like looks off, it's like I'll take care of him. Like then they add the eyes, but like it looked like just simple Stryker scene. Like he knew what was going to happen with making him into
It
Weapon
would have
X.
played so much
It
better
would've-
had they not done the Mystique eyes.
Yes, it was like when I saw that, I was like, I remember watching it. I was like, "Fuck it, this is gonna lead right into Weapon X," and it's like, I was like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "What was that? Why'd you do that?"
Yeah.
And then not only that, but I mean, like having a young Stryker in the movie was badass. What's his name? The guy who played.
So quick question: Who's
What?
your favorite Stryker? Brian Cox
Brian
or
Cox.
Danny Houston?
I like Brian Cox.
Is Brian
Brian
Cox the
Cox
one from
X2.
Brian
He's
Cox.
the one
Brian
for
Cox.
from Super Troopers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is another good movie.
The next person to say shenanigans.
Next
Hey,
person
Farmer,
to shenanigans
what's that
get
restaurant?
pistol
You got
whipped.
all that shit on the walls? Yeah,
You
get
mean
pistol-
shenanigans?
Yeah.
Oh,
God damn it.
put that shit away.
I don't know. I like Brian. I actually just watched X2
Let's
like
pull somebody
2 or 3
over.
nights ago. And like Brian Cox brings that level of like, yeah, I'm fucking William Stryker. I'm gonna fucking show Wolverine his past, and it's gonna be fucking ugly. But then you get to like X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Danny Houston just kind of plays it pretty plain.
I mean, it's not terrible, but it is a lot more plain than
disappointed.
Brian Cox.
I was
Yeah.
disappointed in their choice for Stryker. I was like,
Yeah.
you're just not as you're not
Stryker's-
you're not as dude.
Stryker's
Brian
been
Cox
played by,
playing
like,
Stryker,
3
like
different actors
you want
now.
you want Hugh Jackman to just like punch him in the face, like
Right. And Brian Cox fucking gets that
You know?
perfectly, you know?
Yeah.
You want to
But-
punch him right? in the-
you do. You're like, just get him. You got
Like even
I mean,
though
I
I
thought
have a soft
he
spot
had the
for-
look of Stryker. He had
Yeah.
the look of like you're evil and I hate you. but then the Brian Cox had the weathered experience. Like
Yeah.
I know
Like,
how to
like,
manipulate.
I know how to
He
get
had the
this guy.
personality.
Yes.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Like even though I have a soft spot for X-Men Origins Wolverine, that casting I do agree. Like they should have just brought Brian.
I
Cox
mean,
back.
you had Wolverine for the first time ever on screen in X2 going in full like berserker mode, just killing all these guys left and right, which we hadn't seen him kill anybody in X-Men Part 1.
Right.
I remember in the crowd, the moment he stabs that guy in the kitchen,
Yeah, yeah.
the whole theater lit up on opening night. Yeah! And then he's going on, he's just taking out the guy, stabbing him. I was like, this is badass.
Yeah.
And then, he sends the rest of the students, into that tunnel. He's like, you want some more? He's like, come on. And then that's when Stryker shows up and just completely manipulates him. You know what I mean? Like he knows how to communicate with him. It was so good. And I was like, God, what happened to that? Can we get more of that, please?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the other question too is that the Wolverine that we're getting in Deadpool 3 or Deadpool Wolverine, I keep saying that, is it the same Wolverine from those movies or is it?
I think it's a different one because of the costume.
It's gotta be a different one.
total separate entity.
Well, it's either one of two things. For me, it's either one of two things. Either it's a variant because of the costume, or it's the same one we've seen, but Deadpool somehow manipulated it to where he's in the classic costume and makes a joke about fan service.
Or
I think it's because they said they're not touching Logan, like they're not going to that timeline at all. So that to me just kind of indicates that it's probably a variant.
Then I'll like this movie
Because like obviously, it looks
I'm gonna like this movie.
It looks like a sizable portion of this film is probably going to take place in the void where Eliath is, and that's why a lot of the mutants are like fucking fighting for their life, because what happens in the void, all the shit gets dumped down there. Presumably, if a pruned timeline has been pruned, then yeah, it would stand to reason that a lot of traditional looking X-Men who might have been played by actors before are now down there because, wait for it, they're fucking variants.
Yeah.
I think that the Wolverine that we're going to see in this movie is probably the Wolverine from the same world that we saw at the end of the Marvels. I think that's going to be a connection of where he comes from.
That didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah, because like they showed, Beast, and they showed Binary, which was kind of crazy. I think that's where he's going to stem from. And then, I mean, that could be a way to introduce a new team of the X-Men. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I feel like he comes from there. Because why show all that if you're not going to touch that again? It just seems kind of weird. But
the MCU's done that several times now. But I see your point.
And then of course, Bob Iger saying what he said, saying how they want to focus more on the bigger franchises,
quality over quantity.
Right.
Exactly. And if that holds true, I know he said it before, but if that holds true, then I think that we're going to get better
Did you guys
quality.
His
out of the
2025 release date slate included Captain America and Fantastic Four, but not Thunderbolts.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird what they're doing with the Thunderbolts, but because I know the Thunderbolts was supposed to introduce Sentry, but where does he fit in with everything else? And so that's kind of why it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe this should come out later.
Well, from what I understand, Thunderbolts is actually supposed to start shooting either this month or next month.
They're going to start shooting in March.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's reshoots as well, because they already shot a bunch of the movie. Now they're going to go back and reshoot a bunch of scenes because they changed.
You're thinking of Captain America. They haven't started.
Oh, that's right. That's right. No, you're right. I'm getting confused. Yeah, Thunderbolts hasn't started yet. But Captain America they're going to reshoot too, because that one's going to connect to the Thunderbolts. So it's going to be interesting.
I actually did see a slight spoiler for Captain America: Brave New World. So there are pictures floating around of like crew jackets and crew T-shirts.
Oh, I saw that with the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the
what? It would make sense that that's the introduction of that character in that movie.
So essentially, the crew shirts and stuff for Captain America: Brave New World have the Captain America shield being held by a giant red hand.
Oh.
Yep.
Because I think at this point he's going to be President Ross.
Han Solo.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Is going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew that already.
Yeah, because he's taking over from.
You didn't know that they were
William
shooting
Hurt.
in March.
Okay, cool. But no, so there's a lot of things that when you look at like the Thunderbolts, obviously the Thunderbolts is not even the same team from the comic, but it's not at all. But it's a team of villain or quote unquote
it's
villains,
a team
whatever.
of super
it's
soldiers.
a team of misfits.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a team of super soldiers.
Outcasts.
Is what it is.
Outcasts.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look
undesirables,
you got Thunderbolts. I mean, this is not in any kind of order. I'm just saying in general. You have Thunderbolts. You have Captain America. You have Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You have Deadpool. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out from the MCU that I'm really excited about.
I just hope that
I hope they hit. I just hope they hit.
I think Deadpool and Wolverine is like teeing up the MCU to introduce a version of the X-Men.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
But I mean, I think that, personally, I think what they're doing is they're going to introduce an older version of the X-Men, probably with some of the same actors that you've seen before. And then after Secret Wars, you just reboot the whole thing. But I don't know. It's weird. It wouldn't surprise me to see the original X-Men come back even for Secret Wars.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman's coming back for Secret Wars.
I think Ryan Reynolds is probably coming back for it too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think even if you reboot the MCU, I don't see Ryan Reynolds exiting the role. I think you just carry that on.
I don't see Ryan Reynolds exiting. I don't see Tom Holland exiting. I don't see Charlie Cox leaving anytime soon. I don't see who else? Anthony Mackie.
Chris Evans sign on this big thing?
He's being mum, if not denying it. But you know how these things go.
Yeah.
I would actually guess that Secret Wars is the final swan song for both Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, absolutely. Because then if you lean heavy into the X-Men going into your reboot, then that's how you introduce a new Tony Stark, a new Chris Evans, a new Captain America,
new Chris Evans.
I would
A new
actually
Chris
also guess
Evans?
that like Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth are, if Secret Wars is probably there, like, yeah, we're done. Bye-bye. This is it for us. Like,
yeah, I mean,
yes,
how
because
much
speaking of
longer
Mark-
can they play the character, really? You know,
Because, like, speaking of Mark Ruffalo, wasn't there a report that said that he was told by Kevin Feige that there's not going to be another Hulk movie, like, for a
I
very
saw
long
that,
time?
and then apparently
Wait,
he
he
also
can't be.
said allegedly he also said that he's gonna be in Brave New World, and then Variety was like, "Oh, we heard you're not," and it's like, the fucking actor is literally telling you he's gonna be in the fucking movie, and you're being like, "Our sources told you you're not in the movie," and it's like, he's
That
the
was a little
fucking
weird.
guy. So, like,
Mark Ruffalo fucking like has loose lips.
He does.
yeah, right,
like, all the time.
True. I mean, he's the one that told everyone that everyone dies in Infinity War.
Right.
So,
right. So it's like, I don't understand why Variety would be like, "Oh, well, we heard you're not in the movie." It's like, are you Mark Ruffalo? No, you're not. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, that was kind of odd and strange to me that I saw that Variety tried to like refute the actor that he wasn't in the movie. It's like, huh?
Mhm.
What?
That
That's
was
so
a little weird.
That's just so strange to me. This is baffling.
yeah, really, really weird. I don't know.
But
But,
goofy shit.
yeah,
Good
speaking
transition,
of
Dawson.
goofy stuff,
I don't
yeah,
know.
speaking of goofy stuff, we touched on briefly how Madam Web is getting torn to shreds.
Oh,
And
It's getting
so-
ripped apart.
ripped apart. Like, I've seen, like, I'm just gonna be blunt and honest with you guys. Like, Madam Web's not a movie that was even close to being my radar for something I wanted to see in theaters, just because it's so expensive to go, and also just like
Right.
didn't look interesting.
Right.
But I did not expect the sheer amount of vitriol and just disdain from all these different critics that I've seen. Look, I don't put a lot of stock into critics.
Fuck
But I've seen a lot of people like make videos about it, reactions, and like I think I've heard maybe one or two positive things or even semi-positive things said about the movie in all those videos combined. And it's mostly like, well, it did have this, but it doesn't make up for X, Y, and Z.
Okay, if anything positive has been said about this movie, it's purely about like certain scenes or even just something from the performance of Dakota Johnson, if not the rest of the
That's
cast.
what I- that's what I wanna
literally
watch.
the only positive thing that I've
Yeah.
seen from it.
Yeah.
He's the reason why I want to see this movie.
who?
And I'm not going to go to the movies to see it, but I'm going to see it.
Dakota Johnson?
No. What's his name? Hi, hello.
He gets
Not
distracted.
not Grey's fucking
Grey's
50 Shades of
Anatomy.
Grey. I forgot who's the guy playing
Jennifer
the
Grey.
negative Spider-Man.
Oh, Ramiti. What the fuck?
I
is the
forgot
actor's
his name too. Andre knows it.
I don't
Andre,
know.
what's his name?
It's
Avi
Can't-
Arad?
Axel
No.
Rod.
it
Axl
is
Rose.
Tahir Rahim. He's playing Ezekiel Sims.
Ezekiel Sims. Okay. He was the most interesting part of the whole everything. Just
The villain?
that, and then also the scenarios of them, like kind of replaying time, I guess,
The final destination aspect of it all.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The Groundhog Day, whatever.
The main
Yeah.
thing that I've heard about the villain is that he is generic as all hell.
That's what I've
Really?
heard too. Yeah. Which
Like,
is
I just
really
want to see it. I
unfortunate.
just want to see some badass Spider-Man shit.
So let's take a look
I
at this
keep hearing
real
that you're
quick.
not going to.
Who are you
he-
hearing this from?
Here is
Everyone.
Who is everyone?
a lot
Every
of
single
critics
video
have been
and thing I've
bashing it.
seen.
Yeah, Sean O'Connell bashed it. 3C he bashed it.
3C bashed it.
He did. He loves
Holy
everything. That
shit. Okay, it must be bad.
guy. Yeah, that's why I saw it. I was like, oh, this ain't
God.
good.
Yeah, he's all minded
Uh,
to pretty much anything except for this.
Let me see if I can
He's
find.
Mr. Positivity. Holy
he
shit.
is. He finds the best in everything. And this
Yeah,
one
I
he
know.
did not.
That's wow.
Let me see if I can find what he had wrote. I thought I saved it, but I guess I didn't. I was like, damn it.
he was like shit sandwich. It's like that's the
Shite
two
sandwich.
word.
The most
Two-word
most
review?
terrible review that I saw, and again, this is from a critic, but what they said was, I think it might have been Sean O'Connell who said it, but
Ugh.
they said that Madam Web makes Morbius look like the Dark Knight.
Yeah, he did say that.
Oh man.
That's
like,
a pretty
ouch.
scathing review. That's pretty bad. Damn. Yeah, that's accurate.
Oh, you know what? I saw a screen grab of that goof soup saying, "Oh, Morbius is better," and I'm like, "Look, I didn't like Morbius that much, honestly. Of the three, between Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and Morbius, obviously Morbius is lower there. I even said on this show or even somewhere else that I feel like Madam Web is going to fall somewhere in between, in quality wise, in between like Venom and Morbius. And then sure enough, look at this shit.
Hey,
Look at this.
would you just look at it?
Look at it.
Would you just look at it?
I'm not going to say I was right. I'm just going to be like, yep, okay, that
I
kind of
mean,
validates how I feel about it.
This
Again,
is the
I always
thing.
say that I don't put stock into critics what they say, but like you just said, this doesn't shock me.
I think the
at all.
first
No, it
Venom was better than the second.
As do I. I agree
Oh
with
yeah,
that 100%.
absolutely.
What?
Yeah, I
Like
don't-
there were so many fucking missed opportunities with Woody Harrelson character. I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Like,
Come
why'd
on
you change
now.
the hair? I was
Why'd you
like,
not make it rated R?
Yeah.
Yes, that should have been rated R.
What
Yeah,
the
they were like,
fuck?
we can make more
Absolutely.
money if we go PG-13.
But then they were like, yeah, let's make Craven rated R. It's like, okay, all right, sure, I guess.
And give him powers from lion's blood.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Quicksilver. He can take it.
Here it
He
is
didn't
right
see that one
here.
coming.
Let's get
Let
him
me,
fighting a
uh,
rhino just for the shits and giggles of it.
Okay, so here's what Chris. This is what Chris Parker said. He said, "Madam Web
Hey.
is an embarrassing mess. Talented stars wasted on probably the worst comic book movie I have ever
Oh
seen.
my!
Filled with
Worse than
atrocious,
Steel?
Worse than
filled with
Catwoman.
atrocious dialogue, awkward editing, and all-around laughable structure. I
Holy
sat
shit.
there baffled, scene by scene. Someone approved this. The memes
Oh
will redeem
my.
it. That's, I mean, and this guy's positive about almost everything.
Yeah,
And he ripped
I
the
am
shreds.
shocked. I am shocked. Hold on.
I
That's
mean,
weird.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not all that shocked. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that it's being bashed this bad, but I'm not shocked that people aren't liking it.
I'm gonna try and see this at some point over the next couple days. Like I'm not. I just got to be honest though. Like a lot of this hatred and vitriol is just making me like, well, that's a kind of a damn shame because like at the very least, the trailer made it look like it was kind of a an interesting spin on like Final Destination Terminator with some
Yeah,
Spider-Man stuff thrown
yeah.
in. But like hearing and seeing all this is just like, well, fuck, that sucks.
Kevin
Well-
O'Dog here in the chat here says Grace says critics were audibly laughing at Madam Web. These reviews are almost making me want to watch.
Who gives a
I
fuck
know.
what Grace Randolph has to say?
Yeah,
Well,
Chris
still.
Randolph is shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
in these films right here in Sony's Spider-Man universe, the best film is the original Venom, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, yeah.
Let There Be
Definitely.
Carnage probably got better reviews and better. It made more money because it had Carnage in it, and so it's more characters. But
Now,
the first one was way better.
can
first one was way
Craven
better.
beat this stigma and maybe be something different?
I think Craven
know.
will hover right in between Madam
You know what
Web
they're
and
gonna do?
Morbius.
Wait. You know what they're gonna
Just
do? They're gonna
right
take the
there.
reception of Madam Web and they're gonna fuck with Craven. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're gonna get scared
Maybe.
and they're gonna fuck with it. And they're reshoots, and they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, you know what's going to be
They're
really
They're gonna
funny
be
is,
like, don't have any connections
the
to
only one
Marvel."
they're not going to fuck with.
Don't mention
The
Spider-Man.
only one they're not going to fuck with is Venom 3. They're just going to let them make
Probably
that
not,
fucking
yeah.
movie and be like, yeah, what
Sure.
the fuck?
They're gonna
ever,
be
really.
like-
Is it Andy Serkis?
no, it's oh man, it's the writer on both movies. She's actually taking directing duties on this one.
Jennifer
why?
Hodgson. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not her.
no.
Let me see. Let me
Something-
look it up.
It's gonna suck.
It's
Venom 3.
I mean, okay.
It's,
I'm sorry. You get a
Kelly
writer
Marcel-
to jump in
Kelly
the fucking
Marcel.
director's chair. Is it going to be as bad as Blade 3?
No, it's Kelly Marcel. She wrote the screenplay for the first two films. So this is kind of like
that
a.
doesn't mean she can direct.
Yeah,
it's
and-
kind of
and
a.
those-
It's kind of like a X-Men situation where Simon Kinberg wrote the majority of them, then directed the last one.
Thank you,
i.e.
Jason.
Dark Phoenix.
It's just like what's his fucking Goyer fucking directing Blade 3. He was the
Yeah.
writer. He sucked. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a big difference there because David
He even
Goyer
had
and like
Ryan
Wesley
Reynolds
Snipes.
and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, but there was a big like ego match there between David Goyer and Wesley Snipes, and I feel like there's not that at all between Kelly Marcel and Tom.
I mean,
Hardy.
heck, Wesley Snipes refused to open his eyes during a scene where they had to CGI his eyes opening.
Yeah, that's
That's how bad.
That's-
of a
I,
viewership
I,
it is.
I mean, look,
Did you see him in Coming to America?
who?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
The freak
Coming to
Snipes
America is a
movie.
great movie. The first
No,
one,
the first one was great. The second one is a piece of shit.
it's not good. But the first one, all-time classic.
Yeah.
He's Prince of Zamunda.
Wait, I can't remember. Is it titled "Welcome to
Royal
America"?
penis is clean. He's like, with the roses and the bathing. Oh, actually, I
believe
quite
it
like
is.
the bathing.
It's like Welcome Number 2 America, something like that, right?
No, it's coming
Yeah.
to America too.
It's
Really?
coming to America.
That shocks me that they didn't use the two.
Staying in
No.
America.
It's coming to America. And so they have Coming to America TO and they have Coming to America TWO.
Oh, they did. Okay, that's what I was asking.
The second one is just fucking horrible. It's almost a rehash.
It's a
but
cash grab. It was a cash
it
grab,
wasn't
man. That shit should never even been made.
Should
And that's the
not have
problem
been.
with Hollywood these days is that they're giving sequels and
they better
remakes
not
of
fuck
movies
up
they shouldn't
Beverly
even
Hills
touch.
Cop.
I know.
They better not fuck.
I
that
mean,
up.
when you saw
Part 3 wasn't good.
What is it? The two detectives that were in part 1 and part 2. When you saw them again,
Rosewood and
dude, they looked like senior citizens. They were like, "Hey, act full." I was like, "Oh,
they look
God."
like the two the Muppets. The two old
Yeah,
guys.
I was like, "Oh, it's cool they brought them back." I love those guys, but man, they look
what's the
like
other
they
guy's
should be in
name?
retirement by now, and maybe they will be. And things of that nature.
Things of that nature. Shut up.
But
I just looking through my memories real quick. I just came across.
you're looking through your memories. How do you do that?
Facebook memories, genius.
Oh, they mean your mind.
He's
No.
no Professor X.
No. But today was the day that Zack Snyder revealed the War Machine for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I on Vero, I was like, "Oh, is that the tank from The Dark Knight Returns?" And he was like, "Oh no, I believe the proper name is War Machine." That was like one of the fucking coolest days of my whole nerd life.
Yeah.
So this
That's
is one
pretty
of the
awesome.
memories that popped up on your Facebook.
Correct.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Correct.
This
yeah.
was so
Nice.
like when we saw this shot, it was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" Like
fucking sauce is what
blew
this
minds.
I
was.
fucking drew that.
This was so
in Zack
fucking
Snyder's
dope,
Justice
dude.
League.
Yes, you did.
Project
yeah.
Justice League.
Project
That's
Justice
right,
League.
you did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Very cool.
fucking
Very cool
cool.
machine.
I love this shit so much. That shit was awesome.
That was super cool.
So much more memorable than Madam Web, apparently.
We should start charging admission.
We should. We really should, right?
We would make so much money.
Man.
No, I'm
If
gonna
I-
see Madam Web, but now I'm just like, I don't know if I had any excitement for it, but now my curiosity is like peaked to the point
I
of
want to
like,
see it.
is this movie really that bad?
See, if I were a drinking man, I'd be tempted to just go and drink during Madam Web.
What,
and
like
just
Kool-Aid?
have fun with it.
Well, you can go to the oh, fuck, what is it? The movie
Yoo-hoo?
that served, the movie the
Sunny D.
Alamo's Draft House.
Yeah.
Go to Alamo Draft House and go fucking get drunk and watch it there if you want to.
Got drunk off a Sunny D.
That's if I were a drinking man. I did go to Alamo Draft House to watch the Return of the King extended edition a couple.
Oh,
weeks
there you
ago.
go.
That
Oh,
was
he
freaking
finally
fun.
saw it.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of like
It is
theatrical
fantastic.
releases coming back, did you guys see that fucking Phantom Menace is coming
Yep.
back?
Yes.
going.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I'm
Oh
going.
my
What,
god.
in 3D?
No, it's coming back for a limited release in May.
Yeah,
I'm
but
going.
but,
In-
but
in
they
the
brought it
theater.
back, and it was so funny because they did episode 1 in 3D, and they didn't do episode 2 and 3.
Yeah, they were like,
Because it
"Screw
just
that."
Probably
was
for good
not-
reason.
Yeah.
A lot
It
going
didn't
on
work.
on the screen. I don't think you want that. Like, ah!
Too many
And then
headaches.
just to touch bases on what Phil had brought up earlier, here is the official release from IGN, which states,
Ooh.
yes, Deadpool Wolverine trailer sets a new record with 365 million views in 24 hours. When I was watching the Super Bowl, it's hard to talk about, I had
I know,
people at the party who don't even watch comic book movies who were like, "Oh, I want to see the Deadpool trailer." And these are guys that like they don't follow this stuff. All they wanted to see was
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah, it's
And,
all
and
us,
when it came
right.
on, they're like, "Oh, here it is, guy. Hey, shut up. Here it is." I was like, "Oh, damn." But
I'll
I
tell you
mean,
how.
but here's the
I'll
thing,
tell you how
though. is
little
that
I care about
if
the
you ask
Super Bowl this
Ryan, it had no competition, so that's why I did really good. Like, get out of
Right.
here with that.
I mean, that's kind of a fair point. But I'll tell you, this is how much I cared about the Super Bowl this year. I was sitting in my living room playing my Nintendo Switch, playing Minecraft while listening to the Super Bowl on my phone. That's how
Damn.
little I cared about it this year compared to.
Bro, I was
Yeah.
watching it at my dad's house with my dad, his girlfriend, her daughter, and her daughter's boyfriend. Because me, my dad, and Henry, my daughter,
Yeah.
her boyfriend, like we're all kind of like we kind of avidly watch football. We're all, my dad's a Raiders fan, I'm a Niners fan, and then Henry's a fucking Eagles fan. So we're all
Yeah.
just kind of watching it and just kind of going game like play by play, fucking
I
you know,
shouldn't have
quarter by
brought it
quarter.
up.
I
don't
wish
wanna
you
talk
didn't, but it's just
I don't
I
wanna
don't
talk
I don't blame you. As Niners fans, we really don't want to fucking talk about it because that
I don't want to talk about it.
I'll
that
just say
overtime
this.
shit was
I was
bullshit.
cheering
It
for the
was
Niners,
bullshit.
so I was with you in solidarity.
It was
So-
bullshit. It was absolute fucking bullshit, is what that game was.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
I don't want to talk about it anymore. All
fair
right.
enough.
So moving on now to our next topic. I think that might be all the topics we had.
Yeah, there was another trailer that debuted during the Super Bowl.
Oh, there is, and it was the Planet of the Apes movie,
Kingdom of
Yeah,
the
let me-
Apes.
pull
which
it
I
up
don't know if
really
we can
fast.
watch that one, but you know,
Yeah,
God, who's doing that? Is it Lion? It's not
Paramount.
No, it's
No.
not. It's it might be Universal. I think it
20th
might.
Century Studios.
Oh, okay. So that okay. And then if
Disney.
that's the case, it's Disney, and then I think we can watch it.
Is this
Yeah,
right?
matter of fact, yeah, we can watch it because I know ACS watched it yesterday on his daily show. So yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
should be
So
good.
there we go.
Okay.
If he can watch it, we
I-
can watch it.
Right.
I got it right here.
We
Let me
shouldn't
pull
be
it up.
flagged for it. Hopefully.
So I simply skipped past the whole new trailer starting now.
Oh, I
Good.
know.
Just please,
All
thank
right,
you
here
for
we
that.
go.
Get
You have it
this
on. You have it
started.
muted too.
I do.
Look
Oh,
at
dude.
that. Yeah.
Here we go.
Motherfucker!
Gotcha. Here we go.
Are you familiar
This looks really
with
cool.
the concept of evolution? In their time, humans were capable of many great things. They could fly like eagles fly. They could speak across oceans. But now it is our time. And it is my kingdom. We will learn.
There it is. Caesar's symbol.
We'll learn. I will learn.
You're right. Yeah.
It was on the ship too.
Right. Yeah.
What symbol?
We'll conquer.
Yeah, right there.
If I'm not mistaken, the one wearing the crown is actually named Proximus Caesar. He's taken up the
Legend
name of
says
Caesar, but
Abraham
he's kind of the
human
antagonist
lives
of the
are
story. Whereas in the,
impossible
it's
as
the idea
that
that he's
may seem.
corrupted the name of Caesar.
Why
And
do
what
And I
Caesar
think that
stood
this
for.
is sort of
She's smarter
melding
than most.
the first film with what happened in the last one. You know, as
Yeah.
far as like, there's no astronauts in this, but they're
About this world. Bend for your king.
Apes hunt humans.
it's cool shit.
Is
Really solid CGI work.
Oh
Honestly.
yeah,
Really solid.
great lighting.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
look
agree.
fake at all, except for that shot. No, I'm joking. No, it looks good.
You will die.
no. Together. Strong.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to
this
see
is-
it. Like,
This is set 300 years after War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
the first three were solid. You know,
agree.
I mean, love the one with Lithgow. That that started out for me because I was
First
a
one was
huge
solid. Yeah.
Planet of the Apes, fan, Charlton Heston and all them, and
Right,
I like aspects of, we talked about, me and Phil talked about this last week, with Rick Baker, did a great
Yep.
job with Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. It was a horrible movie, horrible story, but the apes were fucking dope.
They look
were
dope. They look
fantastic.
dope.
But with
There was
the-
nothing about the aesthetic and the look of the movie that was bad. It
Well,
was just the
no.
overall
There
story
was when they were when they were in that one area of the apes, you could tell that they were on set, and that was the only
yeah,
thing. that sucked.
but I mean, for the time,
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool. But it
No, it was-
ended, and it was kind of like,
everything was
okay, I guess
good
that's
looking.
it.
Like Mark Wahlberg was the
Mark,
Yeah.
like, why was he even there? I was like, who casted this guy?
Very questionable choice
Hey, monkey,
there.
what's going on?
yeah.
It was such a
Say
bad.
hello to your mom
even,
for me.
even as a kid, when
Hi,
I saw it,
Mom.
I was like, why is Mark Wahlberg in this movie? Like, you could have picked somebody so much better, which would have inspired a sequel. But instead, it was just like, well, that's over with.
Yeah.
I was
I
Mark
mean, look,
Wahlberg.
Tim Roth
Huh?
did a fantastic job.
Yes.
And Michael Clark Duncan again did a fantastic job.
Yeah. He's like, I was in Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. You seen that? You hide your mother for me.
Yeah, I think for another from what I understand, this is supposed to be like another trilogy starter, and I feel like
I hope so.
for what they're doing with it, it seems like a pretty safe bet. They're doing it Memorial Day weekend too, or rather 2 weeks before Memorial Day. Now that I mentioned it, because they moved the date up from the 26th to the 10th, so this one feels like a must see. It's in an event kind of way. Hopefully, it does well.
And I agree. I think this starts a new trilogy, and I think this will lead to like the demise of the Planet of the Apes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. What about Wicked or Twisters? I don't know.
Yeah,
Twisters,
I mean,
I saw the title and I was like, oh, okay, and I just kept scrolling.
It's like there's some songs from Wicked that are pretty good, like vocally, but like I don't care.
Yeah,
Twisters
I'm in the same boat.
Twisters was like, oh, okay, cool. This would have been great 20 years ago.
There's no Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton
Right.
is
Right.
What's her name? Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt.
Is she gonna? She has to be in the movie.
I'm
I
sure
saw
she probably is.
I saw a post where they compared the original Twister poster and the Twisters new movie poster. And on the first one, it's like it's a shaky camera, it's fuzzy because they're all running away from the Twister.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's like they're all really crisp and clear on the poster, and it's just a Twister in the background. And just that difference alone kind of paints a different sense. Like the first one, there's a sense of dread. You're running away from a natural terrorizing event, whereas the other one, it's like, well, it's clearly a CGI Twister in the background.
I feel like too is that like the original Twister movie. Obviously, like you had a great cast in that movie. You had Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
You had Helen Hunt. You had Philip Seymour Hoffman was in that movie.
Right.
Like, you had a lot of cool actors in that movie. I was like, wow. I saw it on TV not too long ago, and I was like, holy crap, this movie's loaded.
I feel like they're trying to attempt like some kind of Top Gun Maverick-esque
absolutely
like success with this, but the biggest problem is like you don't have Bill Paxton, you don't have Philip Seymour Hoffman,
you don't have Tom Cruise,
you don't have Tom Cruise,
but they're gonna try to you know so the Twister's gonna be in the trench, and they're trying to do the trench run, and then hopefully they can you know they can perform the impossible.
What's crazy is that the same actor who was in Top Gun Maverick playing the lead in Twisters. Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
He's trying to resurrect that franchise. He's like, he would
have been great in that Hal Jordan costume.
Let me ask you guys this, not to pivot too hard on what we were just talking about, but here it is right here. What do you guys think about this as a possible casting for Doctor Doom? I think I love it, but we've already seen him in the MCU.
Yeah, he was a Skrull.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Talos.
Yeah.
Yes. Who died a terrible death. I was like, what? He's dead?
Someone else tossed around the name Mads Mikkelsen. Is like he's also been in the MCU.
Okay, Mads
like,
Mikkelsen's name has been tied to Doctor Doom as a fan cast since before he played fucking Caecilius in Doctor Doom. Or Doctor Strange
and Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
but yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think he'd be a great Doctor Doom. But we've already seen him, and his voice is so distinct that you would know who it is. You're like,
exactly. Yeah,
I've heard this voice before. I've heard this lisp. You know,
I would have too many flashbacks to Ready Player One, his character that he has in there.
Yeah.
RJ writes, screw it. They've recast these actors for other roles in the MCU before.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is a
Gemma
pretty major
Chan
role.
doesn't count. Okay, that's only one instance, and it's not the same thing. Okay,
and they didn't even recast T'Challa. I mean, when he died, they were like, okay, so did
the character.
Yeah,
actually, stop making comics too.
Yeah, it was a little extreme. But I don't think they're ever going to touch that character for a while. Not until after they reboot it, and then maybe even
honestly,
then.
like Talos had a pretty prominent role throughout the MCU in the short stint that he had between, like, you know, Captain Marvel,
and he was just in the Invasion,
fucking Spider-Man: Far From Home, and Secret Invasion. That's what I was getting at. Like Secret Invasion, like he had a pretty prominent role until they fucking killed him.
He had a major role in Far From Home, which I was surprised when I saw him in that movie. I was like, oh wow, okay. Yeah. And I actually enjoyed his character. I liked his character as Talos. And then, and spoiler alert, when he died in Secret Invasion, I was like, wait, is he really dead? What?
Well,
yeah.
Like, why would you kill him off? I was like, I don't get it.
I know who Dawson wants him to take the role of Dr. Doom.
Let's kick some ice.
Arnold!
This will be your doom.
Same exact reaction to that. Just nope.
I love the Arnold Schwarzenegger ad in the Super Bowl. What was it? Where it's
no, it's him and Danny DeVito, the State Farm commercial.
Like a good neighbor, like neighbor. Just couldn't say it right.
A lot of people like akin that to like their role in Twins.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was like the twins coming back for that. And it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
the
That's
twins reunion.
yeah, thank you. Twins reunion.
Reunion. A
Twin
twin
twins
union.
reunion.
but yeah, Ryan, don't curse this timeline with that idea. Just don't do it. Just don't, please.
I am Dr.
Well,
Doom.
and another cameo for, let's say, even like Deadpool and Wolverine is that, do you guys think that Wesley Snipes' Blade will make a cameo?
No.
No way.
Okay. Ben
He doesn't
Affleck
look a
is
thing
fucking,
like he used to.
Ben Affleck as Daredevil has a better shot at coming back than fucking Wesley Snipes.
I
Blade
hope
does,
he
okay?
doesn't, though. Like, just end that shit. But then I want to say there was rumors that what's her name, Jennifer Garner's Elektra might be in this. So if she's gonna be in it, why can't he be in it? So I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like if there's any way to just like get around that, it's the fact that, oh yeah, I lost my partner in the void because he got eaten up by a Goliath, and that's why you justify having Elektra there because she's by herself now. Like, I feel like that's the way you kind of justify that.
But what if they did a
don't
joke?
know.
What if they did a joke of how did he get eaten by a Goliath? He didn't see it coming.
I think that
that's not something you joke
but-
about, Dawson.
if you're gonna move on from this to go into like Secret Wars, I think it almost feels like at the end of Avengers 5, which I guess is still Kang Dynasty. I'm not sure. It feels like the Avengers are going to go against them. They're going to get their ass kicked, and then the team they're assembling in this movie is going to show up and defeat the Kang Dynasty. And then I would imagine the Beyonder then shows up and takes all of them to Battle World. And it's like, oh, because now you've gotten everyone together, and then you take all of them to Battle World for Secret Wars. So it's like, oh, I know, buddy. I know.
If they follow that storyline even remotely close to how it happened,
I'll be right back.
You kind of have to do Doctor Doom. You kind of have to have him be the one forging Battle World, and that would take some kind of, I would imagine, some kind of setup. Maybe not necessarily in this, but to some extent, maybe the Fantastic Four film. But I don't know. I don't really know what their plan for Secret Wars is.
I'm tired of seeing Dr. Doom and Fantastic Four.
Well, who isn't, right?
Yeah,
because that's been done 3 times now, and we kind of need to.
It's like fucking Lex Luthor. Like calm the fuck down with the character. He's he can exist. I don't need to see him right away.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. But I also at the same time, it's like when you introduce Kang the Conqueror and you have a character like Doctor Doom, and they're very symbiotic in certain respects, it's kind of hard not to be like, well, what can we do differently that hasn't been done before? And I think that's the avenue you kind of go down if you do Doctor Doom, is to have him team up with Kang the Conqueror, or if not, just a version of Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really kind of up in the air. I mean, Pedro Pascal was asked recently during an interview, like, is it officially or unofficially that you're fucking Reed Richards? And he was like, I thought this was like a 90-minute interview. Anyone talking about the Fantastic Four or who potentially may or may not be in it is doing a really fucking good job of like sidestepping and not answering it at all. So
they won't answer that at all. And all these people were like, oh, it's any day now they're going to announce it. Well, they haven't announced it yet.
My guess is Comic-Con.
Yeah, but Fantastic Four is supposed to come out before Secret Wars. So, I mean, if that's the case, then you have an opportunity to introduce both Galactus and Doctor Doom for Secret Wars. But, because the fact that they showed Secret Wars comic, which is the second iteration of Secret Wars, and that cover features Doctor Doom on it. So it kind of feels like, that's kind of where...
Right. That's kind of the road that they may be heading down. And honestly, if you look at the production of things going into production, like Captain America fucking Brave New World is getting reshoots. They're about to shoot Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is the last project in Phase 5, and Fantastic Four is supposed to be the kicker for Phase 6. So in theory, in like production, like based on that production, the way production has been flowing, then Fantastic Four should be the next one on the docket to go into production after Thunderbolts. So they have to announce a cast sooner rather than later, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Time indeed shall tell, my friend.
And that's not even including a 4th Spider-Man movie, which is allegedly happening. But we still haven't heard fuck all about it since they said a 4th movie was happening.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
But I think, look, I would hope that before Secret Wars, we're going to get Spider-Man 4. because I think you got to bring back Spider-Man, have him interact with Daredevil and everything, and get that reestablished. But we'll see what they do.
We'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Indeed. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I just wanted to do it. I had to do it.
Just once.
He
I
had
had to
to.
do it. I had to do it. I had to do it. Sorry.
But I think that kind of brings us to the end of our topics, doesn't it?
No, you gotta tickle their balls a little bit.
I think there's
Not
really
only
much
that,
else
but
to talk
I have
about.
to go because my kids have literally left my studio.
Yeah, they're like, you're not entertaining.
Andre has to go be a parent now.
Yeah, I have to go be a parent. They're
has to
watching
find 'em.
shows, and then
Like,
now
hide
they're like,
and
we're
seek.
done. We're done. So I gotta go make dinner and finish their Valentines and all that good stuff.
All right,
So,
man. Well, you have a good rest of your night. Enjoy.
Yeah,
making
man. Yeah,
Valentine's
guys.
Day. You
Thanks
take
for
care.
coming by. We appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming by.
Thanks for gracing us with your presence.
Yeah.
Always. What's up, Return of the Living?
We're
What's this? Side note: Pop-Tart inventor William Post dies at 96. Damn it!
Oh, wow.
Rest in peace.
Dang.
What a
Post.
loss!
That's a long life. That's a long life.
Very much so.
I can guarantee you that he did not eat Pop-Tarts every morning if he lived to 96.
Oh,
Yeah, that
probably
is
not.
true. That is true.
Unless he's like the Dr. Pepper lady who drinks 2 Dr. Peppers a day and lived to like 93 or something like that.
Well, good on her. I know that you're trying
Is
to
that
follow
why
in her
you drink that
footsteps,
shit?
Dawson.
No, that's just a joking way that I justify drinking a lot of it.
You
Anyway.
like that Subway guy.
Oh, let's not talk about that guy.
Why would you compare me to him? That's so messed up.
That's like,
Oh,
that's like, no, let's not talk about him ever
No.
again, ever.
That was funny.
Bad
again.
Ryan. Bad Ryan.
That was
Gross.
bad. That
Bad
was bad,
Ryan.
Ryan. That was bad, Ryan.
Zelda with the franchise killer. I'm good. What?
Oh God.
What
Oh,
was that?
God.
Anthony?
Trash man, take that shit to the other side of the multiverse.
Anyways, so since
Andre
Andre's
has
the
to
lead-
All right,
go.
guys.
All right, Andre.
Take care,
I'll
Andre.
see you guys
Sign
later.
Out. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye
Leave
bye.
studio.
Bye
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, he's hitting me up. Hold on.
But yeah, no, I think we'll just probably go ahead and close up here anyway, since we have no other topics to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we
'cause we gotta
kinda
get ready
ran
to
out of
celebrate
topics. It's
Valentine's Day.
Tuesday.
Just kidding.
I gotta prep for a full day of work tomorrow. Got an event until 5, and then I got a game at 7:30 to cover, and then
Yeah, it's Dawson's fault why we didn't have the show tomorrow.
Yeah,
You're
this
welcome.
is all because of Dawson. So thank you guys for showing up on a Tuesday, which is not our normal day to stream live and talk about stuff like this. But we do appreciate everybody that did come by. Hopefully, you'll tune in next week when we will be on our normal day, which is Wednesday.
Provided
for
we have
now.
anything to fucking talk about.
There will be. They're announcing the Fantastic Forecast.
for the umpteenth time.
Watch them
Not
actually
really.
fucking do it within the next 7 days, though.
I
That would
called
be-
it. What?
That would be fucking hilarious, right?
Like, here's
That
the
would
clip
be
of
super
Ryan
funny.
calling it right here.
Yeah,
And
that
he
would
said it
be
with such
hilarious.
fervor.
He did say it. But with that, we'll close out by just telling you all to
Bam.
follow everybody in the socials.
Yeah, I
on
don't really
social
think
medias.
there's much else going on for any of us at this point.
Yeah, not really. I mean,
Not
I have
much.
the next event that I'm doing is in April. I'm not doing another convention for another 2 months.
Yeah.
Um,
Craig and I are trying to get our next 2 episodes done for the Eternal Night. Like we did the Man of Steel retrospective and stuff like that. We're gonna do, I know for sure one of the next episodes we're talking about is going to be for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. We're doing an episode.
Oh, have you
around-
played any of it or?
No, we're specifically just talking like fan reactions, our own
Oh, okay.
feelings on it. Like a friend, our other guy Terrence, he's going to play it, but neither of us
Okay.
have the coin to play it. Next week, actually, I think on Wednesday, yeah. I might actually have to dip from the show early because I'm going to see Final Fantasy VII Advent Children in the theater. They're doing a limited theatrical release before the Part 2 video game for the remake. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hits stores and retailers on the 29th. So I'm going to be seeing that movie for the first time in a theatrical manner on the 21st or the 22nd. It's one of the other, whichever day is Wednesday. At like
Nice.
7 o'clock. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm gonna have to double check what my ticket is, but yeah, I will probably. Okay, it might even be Thursday, so I might. It really depends, but yeah, I'm seeing that movie. Other than that, I don't really have anything else planned. But once that happens, I'll probably be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then I'll probably be getting ready to pack for PAX leading into March.
Okay, cool.
Very, very cool. Very, very nice. And as always, be sure to go check out some
DJ
artwork.
Wart.
DJWart.com.
DJ
Got some newer stuff. Let's see. I'm working on some more things that are being colored by some colorists right now, which is exciting.
Nice.
That is exciting.
Yeah, so we'll see how those turn out. I have the one Wolverine and Magneto print that's being colored, which I'm very, very excited about that one.
Yeah.
And the Bilbo Baggins and Gollum one, which hopefully the guy is going to do more like a retro color style, which I think will look really cool. And then I have an idea for a Spider-Man, Moon Knight, and Daredevil print, as them all working together, sort of the more ears to the ground heroes of New York,
Street level stuff.
Street level, yeah, that's the term. Gonna be working on that. Got some cool poses picked out to reference for that. And also, we should go check out Zeeverfett's stuff, his shirts.
Oh, yeah.
As well as his updates and progress on his comic.
Yeah, so I'm really I have like half a page to finish drawing, and then it's on to shading and coloring.
Nice.
And I'll probably I've been posting everything on Instagram, so check that out. Let me know what you guys think of the art. I've shown it to a lot of people here. And I've gotten some positive feedback from people that like comics and that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about the feedback that I've been getting, and yeah. So I'm doing that and pretty excited about it. So check me out on Instagram. Follow me along there. And
Sean's been sharing your art in his stories too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. It's
so
looking really
awesome.
solid.
I appreciate anything, because I mean, just I'm putting out, I mean, it's really hard to put something out that no one knows about. It's not like a Batman or a Deadpool or, like an established character that it's cool art, but I don't know this character.
Oh, you actually just made me think of something. I don't know if we talked about it last week or not. Did any of you guys see that Rob Liefeld's officially retired from?
He is retired.
Yeah. We briefly touched on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's happening.
I did see that. So
thank goodness.
I mean, he his art style, I mean, look, I'm not gonna
it
say
was
he's
influential.
a bad artist, but
I can't lie. It was very influential on a lot of people.
Yeah. So I mean, it's they kept him on at Image. So apparently, he's good enough to hang out with with those talented guys.
Well, he helped start it up with Jim.
He
Lee
did.
And other guys,
he did. He was one of the guys that walked out from Marvel.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's true.
And then one of the first guys to jump back onto Marvel.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they did that, and then Jim went over to DC, and I think Todd's the only one that's like, nah, fuck that, I'm doing Spawn.
And Andre,
Image,
Andre did say it accurately in the chat. He said Rob Liefeld has Dawson blocked for some reason.
He has me blocked too, so
I don't know why.
Feel too bad about that.
Oh, wow.
Never interacted with the guy that I can recall, but hasn't got me blocked on Instagram.
Hey, you know what? At least you have good rapport with Todd McFarlane to some extent.
Yeah.
Which
that's
I'm
cool.
still waiting for the results of the Spawnuary competition. They have not announced the winners for that yet, even though they were supposed to announce the winners like a week and a half ago, but they extended the due date for submissions. And so that's
interesting.
Just waiting, because I just want to know. I don't have any false hopes of winning, but I just want to know for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So with that,
cool.
As always, we appreciate you guys for shooting the breeze this on either Wednesday or Tuesday as today. And
hanging with the nerds.
Hanging with the nerds.
We'll see y'all next week on the 4Nerds channel.
See ya.